Mechanicsburg Wildcat football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube. Available on all smart devices. Wildcat football live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's check in with Ben Shad for this week's edition of Foundation Facts with the Wildcat Foundation.
Hello, Wildcat fans, and thanks for tuning in for this varsity contest here on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Tonight's broadcast, as always, is presented by 11 Oaks Farm in Newville. We'll get you out to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth in just a bit, but right now it's time for our pregame segment. Pregame, as always, presented by the Wildcat Foundation, and this is Foundation Facts, and I am joined once again by Courtney Farinelli. Courtney, welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So, Courtney, for those who may not be familiar, give us a little bit of your background, your connection to Mechanicsburg, and what you currently do.
Yeah, so I have been on the board for probably 4 years now, and I grew up in Mechanicsburg. I went to Mechanicsburg. I graduated in 2009, and now I live in the district. I have 4 kids who are early into their journey, but We've done kindergarten and first grade now, so we've got a few more steps to take, but we just love Mechanicsburg. My husband went to Mechanicsburg, and so we knew when we were settling down, we had to come back to the area. And then currently I work, I'm the manager of H2L Studio, so we're a fitness studio in Mechanicsburg. And then my husband's family owns a construction company, Farinelli Construction. I also help out there. And my father-in-law actually he was one of the founding members of the Wildcat Foundation 7 years ago now. So it was kind of cool to kind of see it come full circle and hear his stories about how they got it up and running and how it got started and kind of why they got it started. He's actually someone would be fun for you to pick his brain too for an interview sometime. But so they kind of opened my eyes to what the Wildcat Foundation did, and now seeing what it can do firsthand with my daughter there is just it's just really cool to kind of see how life comes full circle. So I help with the Wildcat Foundation night is kind of my main purpose on the board right now, and I've just been loving it so far.
And as you mentioned, being in charge of the Wildcat Foundation, we've promoted it multiple times on our broadcast already, the foundation's top fundraiser, and we take pride in saying that. I have to imagine you take pride in running that event. Give us an idea just kind of what the outcomes from the foundation night turn into, or at least what, one person's attendance can help it become, and how this has become, I guess would be the better question to ask, how this has become the foundation's top fundraiser over the years.
Yeah, I think one cool thing about Wildcat Foundation Night is even like when I was in high school, I remember seeing signs for like the gala, and back then it was Monte Carlo, which we recently brought back. Last year was our first Monte Carlo year back. So I think what is cool about it is that it can like adapt and change from year to year. Sometimes we can switch up the venue, the theme, the food, the style. It used to be like a gala where people were dressed up, and now we've kind of made it more of like cocktail attire. So it can just kind of become just ever changing, which I think is fun. I think people really enjoy it because they get to see some of the same people that come back year to year, and it's not all about networking, but it's about connecting with people who maybe that's the only time you see them is at the Wildcat Foundation night, or welcoming new faces who have never been, and then they have so much fun and they see so many people they know, they come back the next year. So I think it's become successful because it's kind of just built into people's routine. They're like, in February, we have Wildcat Foundation night. And then in the spring, we do this and that. So it kind of works its way into their like have to do events. So I think that it's become successful because people just keep coming back and they have fun and which I think is our goal, that everyone enjoys themselves. And then they want to bring more friends the next year. And we've sold out most of the years recently, which I think speaks for how fun it can be if people are anxious to buy tickets so that they don't get sold out on. I think the Monte Carlo theme, which we're sticking with again this year, has brought back a lot of memories for people when it was, 10, 15 years ago, and that's what they did. People were kind of excited to see that come back again. So we thought we'd stick with it for another year. And hopefully we have another successful year this February like we did last year.
And again, folks, February 20th, mark your calendars. And as you said, Courtney, it sells out. So make sure you guys get your tickets. And Courtney, where can folks get their tickets and what can they expect when they get that ticket?
Yeah, so they're going to go on sale December 1st. So if you don't already follow us on Facebook, make sure you do that. And if you don't subscribe to our emails, our newsletters and all of that, make sure you do that because all the info will go out there. December 1st, they'll go on sale. And then once you get your ticket online, we will send some information about Monte Carlo, the money that you'll get to gamble with and play with. And we'll send some information about the raffle tickets that we sell at the event, which people really look forward to, because you can buy a raffle ticket and you can win. The grand prize is $5,000. So people get very excited about that. And then the vendors, the food, we're sticking, I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but we're sticking with the Taste of Mechanicsburg theme as well, because that was very well perceived last year too. So that is just a bunch of different local restaurants that are going to do little tastings around the room. So we'll feature them in the newsletter as well. So you'll know what you're getting food wise, dessert wise. We have a couple of dessert vendors this year. So we'll feature all of them just so you know what to expect. You'll get an email and we'll give you all the details that you'll need.
And for some of our more dedicated viewers, we've actually kind of already spoiled some of the cafe names out there.
Okay, good.
So you don't got to worry about letting that loose. Mike and I have already done that 10 times over by this point. So
perfect. Appreciate that.
Courtney, but thank you.
We do have a couple spots if anyone's interested.
Ooh, okay.
And, we do have a couple, I think maybe like one more food spot, one more drink spot, and then we are also collecting, we do a big silent auction. When you were asking why it's so successful, the silent auction items that we get donated from the community are so good. So thank you all for that. But if your business or you have any items that you want to donate to, we still collect those. And a lot of businesses will sponsor like a silent auction item too. And that's, people look forward to that. They get pretty competitive with their bids, and it's fun to watch it all unfold as the night goes on.
An event for the community, by the community, all going towards a great cause. Folks, those tickets go on sale December 1st, February 20th. Mark your calendars. Courtney, thank you so much for joining us and hyping up this great event. We can't wait for it, and we wish you the best of luck in what should be another successful Wildcat Foundation night.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, folks, this has been Foundation Facts presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Learn more about them online at wildcatfoundation.org. We're going to take a quick break and be right back after this.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
It's time for Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Here's head coach Dave Heckard and the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland.
The broadcast continues live on Go Mechanicsburg. It's time for Coach's Corner, and Coach's Corner presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation. I'm joined by second-year head coach Dave Heckard. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on your 20th career victory as a head coach with last week's win over Shippensburg.
Oh,
How you doing?
Thank you. Good.
So you get that 17-0 victory over Shippensburg. You pick up win number 9. You secure a playoff seed. You hold the Greyhounds to under 100 yards of total offense. There's a lot of good that happened last week. So first of all, what's it mean to know that your defense held a team for the 4th time this year under 100 yards, and then also to win that conference championship for the 2nd year in a row?
Defense played fantastic on Friday night. An important part to defense is field position, and I feel like all year Whether it's punting, whether it's JJ Gould and his returns, and the field position part of defense is important. And we were able to get good field position, on defense and kind of pin those guys back a little bit. And defense has been playing well all year, and hopefully we can keep that going here into playoffs. As far as the championship goes, it's extremely hard to do it twice, and we're proud of the guys, and as exciting and as fun as that is, that's over now, and we're moving on to the second part of the season. So,
and a lot of exciting things to go back to that defense. I think coming into the year, there were high expectations for Colin Stair and Drake Dawson. But what are your thoughts on the contributions you've gotten from Darius Crawford-George, Dylan Taylor, Talon Verdelli, Jack DeLuca, just to name a few?
Yeah, no, you have those unanswered questions coming into the season. And here we are at the end of the season, and heroes rise, right? So there's guys that we plug in and that weren't on the field last year that stepped up and did a nice job this year, and we're excited to see those guys progress. And then we expect the same thing from the incoming sophomores next year, to step in and have some of those guys help out. So.
Plugging people in, next man up. We go to the offensive side of the ball in the last couple of weeks. Colin Stair was not part of your offensive game plan. And then all of a sudden last week we find him in the backfield wearing number 99 and playing fullback. Where did that come from?
He just has a unique skill set, and trying to maximize that as a team. And, we feel like we can do that with him in the backfield and doing some different things. But, we're just trying to tap into some of those resources that he offers, and, hopefully make us a better offense. So
there was one play that really stood out to me during the game last week against Shippensburg, and that was Drake Dawson's touchdown run. And not so much that Dawson shifted into a higher gear or the next gear as he ran towards the end zone, but the block by Noah Apple that sealed the corner and allowed him to find the end zone. What are your thoughts on that block?
Yeah, it was a great block. Just a great team effort, right? Drake made something out of the run there, and you are right there. That block by Noah on the edge was key. Drake's a great athlete and has been providing big plays for us all year, and hopefully he can keep that going. So
you've had 8 to 10 different ball carriers this year. You've had Grady Weaver and Reese Miller really splitting time, although Reese Miller well over 1,000 yards, the second back in as many years to go over 1,000. But something that did stand out to me last week: 0 passing yards. And the passing game, I won't go as far as to say it's been limited this year, because clearly the play calls are going in, they're running through you, that's what you want. But does it concern you that you had 0 passing yards last week?
So, I think we do obviously want to balance that up, and we're going to have to balance that up here a little bit in the playoffs. But, look, I'm a run first guy, and I feel like, if we can control the ball and move the ball on the ground, continue to do what you do until a team can show you that they can stop you, we limited turnovers, and, I think that's important. So.
And that's got to be pretty exciting too. Like you mentioned that you're a run first kind of guy, and going back to Colin Stair, the fact that one of your key offensive linemen missed a few weeks, you didn't miss a beat. And then when he came back, oh, by the way, in theory, no room at the inn, you're now a fullback, Colin, right? Like that speaks to how well your offense has been blocking.
Yeah. They've been doing a great job, and that's part of the story too. Offensive line coach said, hey, I feel like we can get the job done with some other guys if we can maybe pop, Colin in somewhere else to utilize his talent. So we'll see how it works out here. We have, next week or this week and the rest of the playoffs here. So hopefully it helps us out. So
well, congratulations on the championship again, second year in a row, Keystone champs. I've got to ask, I don't remember back to how cold it was last year at Shippensburg, but I know it was pretty chilly last Friday here at Memorial Park. What was that water bath like for you?
It was cold. I'd do it again though. It's all worth it. So it was chilly out though. So
a little chilly. Any closing thoughts on the Shippensburg win?
No, it was a great win. Shippensburg's a team that they always find a way to win, and that's one of those deals where I felt like coming into the game like we had an advantage, but Shippensburg's a team that makes their own advantages at times, and it did scare me a little, but our guys handled it. So.
All right, Coach. Well, congratulations on the win, and again, his 20th as a head coach here at Mechanicsburg. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about tonight's opponent, the Redland Patriots. It's the opening round of the playoffs. We'll be right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning. Who needs a warm-up? And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner presented by our friends at the Wildcat Foundation, and pregame will continue with some other great segments, including a live look-in at the Maroon Machine Marching Band, who, by the way, has a competition tomorrow in Downingtown, so good luck to them. Coach, as we weave our way through part two of Coach's Corner, we are looking at tonight's opponent, the Redland Patriots, but they were also your Week 6 opponent, a game that you won 14-7. It was a nail-biter. First of all, what are your thoughts on playing the same team twice in 1 year?
You know, I mean, we have no control over that. But, you know, anytime you're in playoffs, I always like to see different teams. Like, you know, whether that be somebody from a different league or just somebody different. So, but that's nothing we have control of. So whoever they put in front of us, I mean, we're going to prepare for. And, you know, we're going to get ready to go here for Friday night.
And something about Redland, again, as we go back to that Week 6 game, they were undefeated coming into that game, and the Cats were victorious 14-7. You put up 322 yards of offense to their 94. So it was a great defensive night for the Wildcats, an even bigger offensive night, but still just a 7-point victory. So it's kind of an odd question, but what was harder that night, the Redland offense or the Redland defense?
You know, I feel like, you know, if I remember back to that game, you know, both sides of the ball, they played tough on both sides of the ball. I feel like we kind of made our own mistakes there. You know, we fumbled the ball twice in the red zone, and you know, hit a fake, you know, a trick play, and the kid dropped the pass wide open. So we'd have some points hanging out there, but that's football. So hopefully we want to work on that, and you know, this time we play Redland this time around, hopefully capitalize on some of those things.
So Redland is one of a handful of teams from the Keystone that went 7-3. They did, Shippensburg did, Lower Dauphin did. Shippensburg's the odd team out. Mifflin County makes it into the District 6 playoffs, I believe, as a 6-4 team. So do you think Redland might be one of the more dangerous 7-3 teams?
Yeah, I do. You know, yeah, they had a nice season, and they have some athletes on their team, and they can throw the ball. So you know, this is a game we're not looking past, and you know, we are focused in on Redland Friday night and making sure that we have all our I's dotted and T's crossed.
So, of course, you've had an opportunity to go back and watch film from the Week 6 game, but from that game, Redland's actually lost, I believe, 3 of their last 5. They lost back-to-back, us and their next week opponent. Then they won 2. They lost in Week 10 against Mifflin County. So what have you seen with Redland between, let's say, Weeks 7 and 10 that maybe looks better or worse than what you saw between Weeks 1 and 5?
No, yeah, you know, I think, you know, Redland coming into our game was undefeated. I think things kind of leveled out a little bit, and near the end of the year, they just been a little inconsistent, still very dangerous at times. You know, they do a lot of good things. But, you know, they did grab a couple losses here in the back end of the season. But, you know, like I said to you earlier, you know, the playoffs is a new season. So, you know, I feel like, you know, Coach Thomas will have his guys ready to go, and they'll come here ready to play hard Friday night.
How have you coached these young men over the course of the week, especially the ones that were on the team last year that got that first round bye, to know that A, you are playing a team that you've already beaten, so in theory a beatable opponent, but then B, what looms ahead, and that's the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, a team that was the state champions last year, and I'm sure some of these young men would love to have revenge if they're fortunate to advance to the second round. How do you keep them focused?
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like I think that was like you know, topic number 1 of conversation in our meeting on Monday was, you know, making sure that we focus on Redland, and you know, you know, McDevitt, if we get past Redland, we'll worry about that when it comes. But right now, I mean, you know, our focus is 100% on Redland. So
win the week, right?
That's right, win the week.
All right. How have things been going in school now? You made it through the first marking period?
Yeah, good. You know, school's kind of, you know, it's crazy to think they're done with the first marking period already. But we're into November here, and things are cruising right along.
Good luck in the game against Redland, Coach. And we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a live look in at the Maroon Machine Marching Band. Plus, we'll get you out to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for kickoff. Mechanicsburg and Redland coming up in just a bit, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
You've been watching Coach's Corner, presented by the Wildcat Foundation. Coming up, we'll get you out to the stadium for tonight's game live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville, or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub service and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by our office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. There was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Butterfly Effect, featuring music by Hozier, King Gizzard, and Dean Lewis. Our wind arrangements were written by Bill Stoneman, with percussion from Frankie Rice.
Get ready to take a look into the Maroon Machine Marching Band.
Harwell, and our design coordinator is Christy Templin. Our caption lead teachers include Paige Biller, Kirsten Schatzer, Harlow Alexander, Patrick Murphy, Mitchell Stoneman, Caitlin Zimmerman, Bill Stoneman, Andy Williams, and Dustin Smith. Our assistant director is Miss Alice Broadway. The band is under the direction of Mr. Ben Goldsboro. Conducting the program are student drum majors Audrey Hunt and Abby Anderson.
Couple notes, guys.
The Mechanicsburg Wildcat Marching Band, their performance forthcoming. A very breezy night here at Memorial Park in John H. Frederick Field, so some of the props have been withheld. The Maroon Machine are competing in their Divisions of State Championship tomorrow at Downingtown High School. So tonight we get a full performance preview in advance of the kickoff against Redland. The Maroon Machine performance coming up in just a few moments.
Okay, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Mechanicsburg High School Marching Band.
One moment can change everything. Cause and effect unfolding on the grandest scale. A single breath, a flap of wings, a fleeting glance can set forces in motion that reshape the world around us. Every moment, no matter how small, begins something greater. This is the butterfly effect. Single breath pulls the air, setting a force in motion. Breaks, unleashing a chain reaction. Spread through time and space. Resonating in harmony, marking the point where cause and effect converge. The butterfly emerges, a symbol of transformation, possibility, and the infinite reach of a single action.
marching band, and I think some of those streamers are still flying into the Mechanicsburg night. It is their competition performance nearly in full because of the winds tonight. We couldn't see all the props, but the marching band will be competing full show tomorrow at Downingtown West High School for the Pennsylvania State Championships. They are in the Open 5 division, competing against a handful of other schools, including West Shore School District, North Penn High School, Downingtown West High School, Downingtown East High School, and Hempfield High School. So if you have interest in going to see the Maroon Machine tomorrow for that state competition, again, it's at Downingtown West High School. Mechanicsburg will be performing at 8:45. Their portion of the Open Group 5 starts at 7:30, and if you want to make a true band day of it, well, the fun will start at 1 o'clock with Wissahickon High School in the Group A Division 2 category. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to check in with our weekly Wildcat scoreboard. Big doings for Mechanicsburg fall sports teams and fall sport athletes this weekend and in the coming days, and then we will be back to the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, where Dave Harris will join me in advance of tonight's playoff game. It is Mechanicsburg and Redland, the rematch, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market, and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill. Call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn,
which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up? And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Shire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
The Wildcat Foundation is Mechanicsburg Area School District's education foundation. Established in 1998, the foundation raises and distributes funds that support students in education, wellness, cultural awareness, and athletics. The Wildcat Foundation has also awarded hundreds of thousands of dollars in scholarships to support students' higher education. Learn more and donate today at wildcatfoundation.org. Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ben Shad, and it's time for our weekly Wildcat scoreboard presented by Operation Wildcat. Tonight, Friday, October 31st, varsity football is home against Redland in the first round of the District 3 5A playoffs. Kickoff set for 7 p.m. On Saturday, November 1st, cross-country for boys and girls is at the state championships in Hershey. Want to shout out our Wildcat runners Lindsay McCorkle, Emily Schweitzer, and Nathan Landers. Their meet starts at 11 a.m. Later on in the day, varsity field hockey is in the district championship against number 2 Penn Manor at home at Memorial Park. That is set for a 3 p.m. start time. Girls varsity soccer also in the district championship finals against number 2 Manheim Township. That will be at Landis Field, also set for a 3 p.m. start time. Trick-or-treating in Upper Allen Township, which was rescheduled from earlier in the week, is happening Saturday night as well from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. On Tuesday, November 4th, varsity field hockey and varsity girls soccer both in the first round of state championship play. Field hockey will be home against an opponent and a time to be determined. Varsity girls soccer will be also against an opponent, time, and location to be determined. On Friday, November 7th, the winner of the game tonight plays at Bishop McDevitt in the second round of the District 3 playoffs. Kickoff set for 7 p.m. And on Saturday, November 8th, varsity field hockey and varsity girls soccer will be in the second round of states if they advance, all with time, location, and opponent to be determined. Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to Wildcat Athletics on X/Twitter and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. You can also visit mbgsd.org and click on the Athletics tab or download the new District app for the latest Wildcat news and information. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new District app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
And welcome back to Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, thank you for spending time with us in advance of this opening round playoff game, Mechanicsburg and Redland. And Dave, I got one very important thing to do before we start talking. Hold on.
It's time for Mechanicsburg Wildcat Football, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, live on Go Mechanicsburg. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Wildcat Athletics at Go Mechanicsburg on YouTube, available on all smart devices. Wildcat Football, live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg, is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, your neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Now, let's head out to the stadium and the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth for tonight's game.
With the call, here's the voice of the Wildcats, Mike Garland and Dave Harris.
Now we're ready to go from the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, thank you for tuning in tonight live on Go Mechanicsburg. It is the opening round of the District 3 5A football playoffs. The Mechanicsburg Wildcats 9-1 on the season. They're the Mid-Penn Keystone champs, going 8-1 in conference play. And tonight, they square off against a team they've seen once already this year. That is the Redland Patriots, 7-3 overall, 6-3 in Mid-Penn Keystone. And Dave, first thing out of the gate, a question for you. Mechanicsburg is playing a team for the second time this year. Not a common practice in high school football. What can we expect in a rematch scenario like this?
Yeah, you can look at this a couple different ways. And interestingly enough, I remember reading the article the day after from the Redland head coach, I think Jamie Thomas is his name.
Yes, sir.
And he said, we might just see them again. And here we are. So they lost to us. It was a close game. It was a tough game. A little prophetic. We might see them again. So I think Redland's going to be up for this. They've had some down years. They've had a lot of down years consecutively. We've been there before as a program. And so now here they are ready to roll. You can also tell it's a whole new level. It's now playoff time. And so we got 2 extra officials, which I know seems like a minor thing, but it's a sign of the importance of these games, right? Win and go on, lose and go home.
You talk about Redland having a couple of down years, Dave. This is their first playoff appearance since 2014, their first winning season since 2016. So to say it's been a while for Redland would be an understatement. Tanner Minnick kicking off for the Wildcats. Back deep to receive is going to be Logan English along with Kaysen Hoffman, but it's going to be fielded by one of the short men, Anthony Plever, and Plever is escorted out of bounds near the 25. It is a gusty, windy night, and the wind is blowing from the west to the east or left to right here at Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field. So Redland going with the offense here in the first quarter as the Patriots did win the coin toss and elected to receive. You talked about the extra officials, Dave. Here is the crew. They are coming out of the Lancaster-Lebanon League. The referee is Jim Kempf. The umpire is Sean McKayler. The linesman Douglas Rhodes. Line judge Justin Meyer. Field judge John Dabor. The side judge Don Johnson. And the back judge is Dave Simiak. Those are your officials from Lancaster, Lebanon. Shearer under pressure. Colin Stair at his ankles. That pass is incomplete. It was intended for Colin McConaughey. So for the second week in a row, Colin Stair sporting number 99. I would anticipate we'll see him on the offensive side of the ball in the backfield one more time. But this Wildcat defense, Dave, something special. They've only given up 81 points this year, and I mentioned it last week. They are head and shoulders defensively, at least in points per game given up, above everyone else in the conference.
Well, last time we saw these two teams play, there wasn't an offensive touchdown. I think we had 2 punt returns and an interception, if I got it right. And at best, if I'm wrong on that, if we didn't have the punt return, which I saw in the notes.
It was a pick six and a punt return. Those were the 2 scores.
For us, and they had a punt return for a score. So no offensive scores. So I do want to tout our defense, and I want to talk about the Wildcats. But boy, oh boy, it was a wrestling match last time. It was a gristmill. It was a punch in the face that we won 14-7. So I think I'm going to be shocked here if points aren't hard to come by throughout the night.
First mistake of the night goes the way of the Wildcats as the left side of the defense was offsides. Now a running play on 2nd and 5. Colin Stair, Drake Dawson on the tackle as the running back for the Patriots, Eli Phillips, loses 2 on the play. So 2nd and 5 becomes 3rd and 7.
To your point earlier, though, Mike, I kind of wanted to talk about the general context, but this defense, we talked about that. Teams want to try to go left to right, and we just have the speed, and they have not been able to do it the last 2 seasons, not to mention just this season. So we'll see if the if Redland tries to do something different that they haven't tried to do before.
A quarterback keeper by Quinlan Shearer, and he is met near the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1. So 1st and 10 goes nowhere, then a penalty, 2nd and 5, then a loss on the play as well. And the Redland punting unit will be coming onto the field, and Redland will be punting into a stiff breeze. It has been breezy all day long. J.J. Gould standing at his 41-yard line and punting for the Patriots and head coach Jamie Thomas.
Well, that's always the key. When you play somebody the second time, which, as we just said, is very rare in high school football, not like the professional football, very rare. And the question is, what do you do with the information you have? Right? Most weeks you set up and you're like, we don't know what they're going to do. We don't know what we're going to do.
J.J. Gould fields that punt, stiff arm on the far side of the field. He is run out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line.
But the reality is you now have a whole game of tape of your kids against their kids. And that's an advantage for both teams, or you can argue no advantage for either team. But what are they going to do with the information they have? So there you go, Mike. We'll see.
They certainly had a nice body of work, game film, if you will, to watch. But something else to keep in mind for the Redland Patriots, as Mechanicsburg will have the ball for the first time tonight. This is a Patriots team that when they came to Mechanicsburg in Week 6 were 5-0. They finished the season 7-3. So they lost they lost 3 out of their last 5 games, including back-to-back Mechanicsburg, then the next week, I believe, against Hershey. And then last week they fell to Mifflin County to wrap up the regular season. So certainly not a team on the back half of the year that was playing like they were on the front half. Mechanicsburg coming out of the gates, passing. Noah Apple, that pass complete to Jack DeLuca. So for a Wildcat offense that legitimately runs the ball 75% of the time, the first play from scrimmage is a pass.
Well, and that's the key, right? What do you do with the information you have? Don't be too predictable. Don't give them what they expect. And when we see Jack DeLuca get involved in the offensive game plan early in the game, that's a good sign. I expect big things from Mechanicsburg tonight. I really do. You know, we turned the ball over 3 times last time we played them, kept the game closer than it should have been. All respect to Redland, but as you pointed out, they've had a tough second half of the season, and we'll see what Mechanicsburg can do.
Another passing play, and it's an interception. Noah Apple's pass intercepted by Colin McConaughey. And for Noah Apple, that is just his 2nd interception of the year, and it pins Redland deep, but a turnover early on as the Cats tried to ride the wind for something big. Instead, it's going to be a turnover, the first one of the night.
Yeah, I mean, credit to the Cats, right? Passing has not been their bell cow, if you will. They come out, they throw a pass first down and pick up a nice 15, 16-yard gain, get a first down. Then they come back and throw a pass. I love what they did. You can say it's just as good as a punt because it doesn't hurt them, and it doesn't.
Drake Dawson with the tackle for loss in the backfield. Quinlan Shearer goes nowhere.
And all the same, you don't want to turn the ball over. But that being said, Mike, to your earliest points, the defense is stout. And when the defense is as stout as the Cats are, you know, when your coach Heckard, you just turn to your offensive coordinator, Rubinick, and you say, just do your thing. Call what you want to call because we're going to show up on defense no matter what. And we might win this 3-0. We might win this 7-3. Hopefully we win it 27-3, right? But you do. Our defense is going to show up, so you do what you want to do on offense.
And another running play by way of Eli Phillips. He's going to get near the line to gain, in fact, just past the sticks, but there is a flag laying on the carpet at about the 8-yard line. And right now, the total offensive yardage for the Redland Patriots sits in the negative range with a couple of plays for loss, followed by this penalty.
Yeah, you know, when we played them previously, as I talked about the 3 turnovers, they only had 94 yards of offense. 94 yards of offense for the whole game. So, you know, you don't think you're going to get in a shootout with them. They're going to have to stop you. Now, on the flip side, offensively, you got to get it done. But the D keeps showing up. There's the penalty, and now we're sitting here. They're way behind the sticks. It changes your play calls. 2nd and about 15 or 16.
2nd and 15 or so, as Dave said. Quinlan Shearer standing with his toes on the goal line. A single back to his left. Some movement up front for the Cats, and it looks like they may have encroached. However, it may have been Redland motion as well, as Eli Phillips was the single back, and the motion penalty called against Redland. You can't go much further back than they are, as the ball was spotted on the 5, so it'll go to about the 2.5. Redland going in the wrong direction early in the first half.
Yeah, I thought Mechanicsburg was chill and settled down in, and there was all kinds of movement. I watched Noah Apple out here, and they just sat back and watched. And I think Redland was a little bit, I'll say, rattled for lack of a better term. And sure as heck, here we are sitting at about 2nd and 20.
Shearer, shotgun, 3-step drop, stepping up in the pocket. That pass is completed far sideline to Kason Hoffman, and Hoffman is escorted out of bounds by Darius Crawford-George. Picks up about 15 on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and maybe 4 or 5 as referee Jim Kemp's microphone keyed on, and it's a very breezy night, so easy for that open mic to pick up the breeze as it billows through this cavernous Memorial Park and John H. Frederick Field complex.
Great throw by Shearer. We know he can do that. He just didn't do it with any great effectiveness last time we played them.
Redland running the option, and Eli Phillips takes the pitch, picks up the 1st down. The Cats had a defender in the backfield nearly in a position to take that pitch.
Yeah, it's hard to question Shearer as a quarterback. At the same token, as I said, when we played him previously, 94 total yards of offense, about 67 yards. I feel like passing, I think something like that. Yeah, 94 is what they had. The passing was not really strong, but he's got the arm, and so it comes back to the scheme of what they're trying to do, and he got it out there, set up that nice little 3rd down run, which they picked up.
Eli Phillips tackled by Drake Dawson, his 2nd tackle for loss of the night. He now has 18, and I think, Dave, what the kids are saying these days, in the last game, Shearer had 6-7 yards passing.
Is that right?
And that is it.
I know of not what you speak.
Is that true? You have not been swept up in that 6-7 slang?
No, I have not.
Dictionary.com just branded 6-7 as its, quote, word of the year, unquote.
Is that right?
Based on cultural impact and possible annoyance to adults. 2nd down and 11 following the tackle for loss. Shearer pressured. Colin Stair got a hand on him. He gets the pass away. It's completed to Kason Hoffman. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the line to gain. Drew Freeland, easy for me to say. It's cold. Drew Freeland comes in on the tackle.
Yeah, this is a team that obviously charged out to a 5-0 start, and I think it was the offense, right? That was what people were talking about when they got here, when they showed up here in Week 6, and we just didn't see it. But here they come. They've completed some big passes early.
Phillips on the dive, scoots past the line of scrimmage and picks up the 1st down. This Redland drive started near the 10 following the interception, backed up to about the 2 based on a handful of penalties, a couple of tackles for loss in there as well. But the Patriots are surging forward and at their own 44-yard line on this blustery night, October 31st, officially Halloween.
Well, the key if you're the Cats is bend but don't break, right? Put them in that hole. They had them at the 11. They had a couple penalties. Back it went. And that's what you got to do, and make them drive the length of the field. And they're not going to be able to do it too many times is, I think, the general rule that you're thinking about.
Phillips with the pass. It is complete. What a catch for the Patriots and Kason Hoffman. We'll take a look at that one again. Highlight catch of the night so far.
Well, I don't know about so far. It'll be hard to believe that isn't the highlight of the night in terms of catches go. Decent coverage, right? Really decent coverage. Closes in on him, but he stays right on the ball and makes that catch. And they've made the play so far. They've had 3 big pass plays thus far, and it puts them in a situation where they've now moved across the 45-yard line down to about the 43. And I don't think they were here the whole last game we played.
Quinlan Shearer on the quarterback keeper. It was an RPO, and he held on to it. He's going to be about 4 yards short of the line to gain. Jordan Hill now into the backfield for the Patriots as Eli Phillips catching a break on the sideline. And there was some pushing and shoving post-play, but no call yet. And again, the officiating crew out of Lancaster, Lebanon. A couple of Mid-Penn Keystone teams in the playoffs, Redland and Mechanicsburg. Shippensburg is at Warwick, the 12-seed Greyhounds, the 5-seed Warwick Warriors. Lower Dauphin is the 10-seed. They are at Exeter Township right now. The Exeter Eagles, the 7-seed. 2nd down and 4. Shearer rolling to his right. Steps up. The pass is incomplete off the hands of Sean Porter on the far side of the field. Porter was open, but Redland also fortunate that pass wasn't intercepted.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If you're the Cats, and granted offensively we've only had 2 plays, a nice 1st down pass play and then an interception, not the vaunted running game we've seen thus far. And you got the opening kickoff, mind you. But you've given Redland an opportunity after the interception, and they are working their way down the field, but this is a big 3rd and 4 right here.
And they are working their way into a very stiff wind as Shearer stands in the shotgun, pitches the option to Eli Phillips, and he is going to be tackled near the line to gain. A nice job by Ryan Foose reading that one to make the tackle, and it's going to be 4th down and 1. And this is a Mechanicsburg defense that repeatedly against Hershey a couple of weeks ago came up in so many different ways possible on short down and distance to go situations against those Hershey Trojans. Now Redland will stack the box looking for their own version of the tush push. It's going to be a handoff to Eli Phillips, and he is going to get the first down. It's hard not to pick up a yard at pretty much any level of football, and Phillips worked his way behind that big offensive line to move the chains.
So, yeah, they continue to move it. But, if you're the catch, your thought process is we're making them earn it. We're making them work for it. And we got 31 yards to go. This is not a gimme. We're not in the red zone yet. So can we get a hold? Can we get a penalty? Can we get a turnover? What can we do here? But if you're Redland, you're feeling really good about where you're at this point in the first quarter.
Kason Hoffman, the single receiver split to the far side right. Colin McConaughey near side left. And again, Eli Phillips stumbles through the offensive line, picking up about 5. So the Patriots with a nice sustained drive closing in on the 4-minute mark here in quarter number 1.
Yeah, Mike, I think this is the kind of thing that I think we expected in the first game. This was a 5-0 team coming in against a 4-1 team that had just gotten upset the week before at Lower Dolphin. And this is what we thought would happen. And Redland just did not have they never got an offensive sync, but they do feel like they're in one right here, right now.
Eli Phillips takes the RPO handoff, and Drew Freeland will meet him at the line of scrimmage, and a flag flies in as well, very likely holding against the Redland Patriots. So another penalty for Redland on this drive will back them up, and it should bring up a 2nd down and about 10. Wildcat fans, we know that fall sports season is upon us, although wrapping up, and Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, well, they are just getting going because they're cheering on our hometown teams while athletes hit the field. Let your dog be the MVP at home. Call Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming today at 717-919-6266 or stop by 16 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, where every pet looks like a champion, and it is a championship weekend for our Wildcats, Dave. There are a couple of cross-country runners competing at the state cross-country meet tomorrow in Hershey. The girls' soccer team is playing Manheim Township tomorrow afternoon at Landis Field on the campus of the former Central Dauphin High School, now middle school there in Colonial Park. And right here tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock, field hockey plays Penn Manor for the district championship as well. So it's a big sports weekend.
Yeah, some great semifinal games. I was at both of them for soccer and for field hockey, and it's awesome. It's the front door to your school year. We talk about it every year. It's not just football, though football is a big part of it, this atmosphere on a Friday night, but it's cross-country. It's tennis, it's golf. There's just so many kids involved, and the success we've had under the leadership of Seth Bohannick, our athletic director, it brings the town around, it brings the community around, and certainly it's a great start to the school year for the high school.
Quinlan Shearer's pass, a dart into the back of the end zone, incomplete, and I do apologize. I thought it would be 2nd and 10 following the hold. Holding is 10 yards, so it's 3rd and 15 now. Shearer under pressure gets the pass away. It is completed to Anthony Plever, and Plever picks up the penalty yardage plus a few, and there is another flag on the play somewhere around the 32-yard line. So we'll see what this call looks like. It's going to be 4th down and about 7 if Coach Heckert declines the penalty. But I believe this is 4-down territory regardless for Redland, so you may back them up.
Yeah, it looks like an eligible man downfield, Mike, I'm thinking.
Now, Shearer was under pressure, so that likely disrupted the timing of the play as referee Jim Kempf makes the call, and the penalty is declined, so it's going to bring up 4th down. And, oh, by the way, congratulations to Coach Dave Heckert, who picked up win number 20 last week and his 2nd conference championship with that win against the Shippensburg Greyhounds. So 2 years as a head coach, 20 wins, that's not a bad total.
No. Great start to a career. Interestingly here, Mike, I don't know what I missed. It seemed like he caught the ball, had the ball at about 4th and 8. But the reason he declined it was ruled an incomplete pass.
All right, absolutely. Okay, so that does send the punting unit on as Alan Lindenmuth will stand at about his 48. Lindenmuth still sporting the pink socks for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which we celebrate in October. some contact, but no penalty, and that ball is going to take a Redland bounce, and it's going to be a touchback. Ethan Schultz dove on it, but his momentum, and those big guys can bring a lot of momentum with them as they surge forward, carried him into the end zone. 1st and 20 for the Cats. That was a nice sustained drive by the Patriots. It took minutes off the clock, but no points. A couple of penalties along the way didn't do them any favors.
No, they moved the ball right from the 11 to this point. I mean, that was a long possession. It was a 6-minute possession. Cats taking over at 3:17 here, and they got the ball at 9:52. But you're right. The penalties shot them in the foot, and they didn't really have any explosive plays. They had a couple of nice plays, but what you call explosive, they didn't have any big gainers. They didn't seem to get the Cats on their heels.
Noah Apple in the shotgun, running on 1st down. Reese Miller off of right tackle, and Reese Miller will gain a couple of yards on the play before being brought down by Hayden Treaster. It is 2nd down and 6.5, maybe 7 for the Wildcat offense.
Yeah, I loved how they came out, threw the ball right to Jack DeLuca, picked up a 1st down around midfield, then took it strike deep, and that was a great decision, I think. Unfortunately, it was intercepted. And now they come back and go, okay, let's go back to our bread and butter. We're going to run this ball. But I hope they don't lose that desire to stretch the field and that ability to shock them a little bit, because I think it plays into Redland's hand if it's just a black and blue punch you in the mouth kind of game. While I think we can win that game, I think it keeps Redland in the game longer.
Mechanicsburg picks up a 1st down. Reese Miller on the carry following the lead block from Drake Dawson. And you've got a 1-2 fullback punch of Drake Dawson and or Colin Stair. And that opens up some big holes for your backs, including Reese Miller, who's run for 1,161 yards on the ground coming into this one, and he'll tote the rock one more time. Hit near the line of scrimmage. He is brought down.
Well, that's a perfect example where we talk about, I've talked for weeks, Mike, about running with your eyes. And I think Reese stayed with the play call, went hard over the left side, but boy, there was a crease coming back to the right-hand side. And not to be critical of him because he has been vital to the success of this season, but I think he missed a crease back to the right-hand side, and he might still be running if he took it.
Isaiah Ambush had the tackle. It's 2nd down and 8 for the Cats. Empty backfield. Noah Apple designed quarterback draw. He steps up the middle and into the second level. Noah Apple into plus territory where he is brought down at the 43-yard line by Colin McConaughey. He gains 17 on the play, and the chains will move. 1st down and 10, Mechanicsburg.
Great play call and even better execution. It's about having a knack for it. And I'm going to be honest with you, it was right in the same spot what they just blocked previously where I said Reese Miller missed that read. And I'm not saying everything was all the same because I'm not sure it was. But in that particular case, they saw something, they took advantage of it. Noah got up in there, and boy, did he break it to the second level.
A gain of more like 23 for Noah Apple as Reese Miller is gobbled up in the backfield. Isaiah Ambush and Jaden Ramos with the tackle for loss. 1st and 10 becomes 2nd down and 13.
When you're calling plays, it's not as simple as going, well, here's the down and distance, let's try this, right? You've got to set things up. You set things up a series before. Sometimes you set things up in the 1st quarter for the 3rd quarter, and you're setting it up because if we give them this look, we can expect this outcome. And when you run a play early that doesn't work, you can learn a lot from it and go, if we make this adjustment or if we do this little wrinkle, we can make something big out of it.
Heavy backfield, Colin Stair, Drake Dawson leading the way for Reese Miller, who surges forward to about the 38-yard line, gets the negative offensive play back plus a couple, 3rd down and 6. And it's just got to be an amazing feeling for Coach Heckard and the offensive line coaches, Frank Rubinick, the offensive coordinator, Dave Payne, the offensive line coach, to know that not only do you have the offensive line that you do, being able to block your way to almost 2,200 yards rushing over the course of the season, but that you could put one of your best linemen in the backfield for him to play at fullback. And you get the double fullback formation now as Apple will step back from the line of scrimmage, a timeout.
Quarter ends.
The quarter ends. Well, it's kind of a timeout, but it's just one that I didn't notice because I wasn't looking at the clock. The quarter comes to an end. We are tied at 0, and the Cats will be moving with the wind when we come back after this. 0-0 the score, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
3rd down and 7 following the end of quarter. The Cats will be going right to left, and Reese Miller, he's going right and left as well as he weaves his way through a couple of Redland defenders to pick up 9 and move the chains for a Mechanicsburg first down.
Well, that's what's great about it, right? The Cats, I think, have tried a lot of different things, some with success. Obviously, the interception, not as much. But when you can dial up a run, a standard run on 3rd and 7 off the left tackle and have as much comfort in getting a first down as they did, it just opens up so much of the playbook and so many different variations coming off of that.
It is 1st down and 10. Drake Dawson goes in motion. Reese Miller takes the pitch. Reese Miller spins his way to the 24-yard line, just short of another Wildcat first down. And what you just said, Dave, was what made the Hershey game so magical a couple of weeks ago, that despite the fact that everyone at the Hershey High School Stadium knew that Mechanicsburg was going to run the ball, Hershey couldn't do a darn thing to stop them. And I think that was the beginning, even though it was week 8 or so, it was the beginning of asserting that offensive dominance that we have now seen over the last couple of weeks.
Well, we know it. They didn't have it at Lower Dauphin, and it cost them, right? There's a reason we're playing tonight and not having the night off. But they come right back out like that and run that toss, and they're just running downhill, right? It just bodes well for going forward, in spite of the result of this play.
Reese Miller tackled by Jacob Curtis in the backfield. A loss on the play.
Now, you're in 4-down territory, and so the tendency is to, I don't want to say panic, but you're going, okay, we got 3rd and 6, which – for most of my experience with the game of football, as a fan, as a viewer on TV, as a coach, if you don't get it here, you're punting. Clearly you're not punting at the 27, but you're not sure what you're going to do. But now it's a no-brainer. It is just a no-brainer. So your whole playbook is available here on 3rd and 7, and you hope to get inside 2 or 3 yards, and then you go for it on 4th.
Danny Kirch, Jack DeLuca, Ryan Foose to the right. Noah Apple steps up in the pocket. He comes back left looking for J.J. Gould, 50-50 ball, and it is incomplete. A nice job on the defensive coverage for the Redland Patriots. Kason Hoffman in the area. Colin McConaughey came in late just in case Gould was able to hold on to it, but he couldn't. So 4th and 5.
Well, I think if the Cats don't get this first down here and don't go on to score, they're going to regret that, because I'm not sure it was a 50-50 ball. I had that thing at about 75-25. It was in his hands, and you just got to make those plays. And sometimes you have kids who can make them. Sometimes you have kids who just can't make them, and Cats didn't make the play.
Noah Apple, designed quarterback keeper, is going to move the chains. He needed 5, picked up 7, and I guess that might be the danger to being the run first, run second, run third offense that Coach Heckert has trotted out for the most part this year, is every now and then when you need to pass, sure, you pass in practice, and the receivers catch the ball in practice, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah. No, well said, Mike. I mean, as you go into November here, right, and it's October 31st, we plan to play next Friday. We don't know, but we plan to, and we'd love to play past next Friday. But the bottom line is, if we want to play past next Friday, we can't be a one-dimensional team. One dimension ends this week, if not last week.
1st down and 10 for the Cats. Apple under center and a whistle as referee Jim Kempf looks over towards the line of scrimmage. This officiating crew has the communication headsets on, so it's confirmed. A false start penalty called against the Wildcats will back them up 5 yards. So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15. You talk about next week. Well, awaiting the winner of this one, the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders, a familiar opponent for the Wildcats. Mechanicsburg season ended in what was the 3rd round of the playoffs last year against the Crusaders, who were the inevitable state champions, or the eventual state champions, although some would say it is inevitable year in and year out for Bishop McDevitt. but that is who awaits the winner of this one. Reese Miller on 2nd and 15 gets the penalty yardage back.
Well, at the end of the day, Mike, we were the champions of boundary schools in District 3 for 5A. If we had different rules that allowed us to do different things, perhaps things would have been different. But being a boundary school, we had a hell of a season, and we took them right to the brink.
Absolutely, absolutely. And McDevitt has 2 losses to their resume, one against a team from Canada, so not recognized by either District 3 or the PIAA. But Bishop McDevitt is, I believe, a 8-2 team on paper. It's 2nd down and 10. Apple. Wide receiver screen to Jack DeLuca. He turns the corner. Jack DeLuca lowers his shoulder and bulls his way through Sean Porter and Colin McConaughey. Not quite a first down, but he picks up a good chunk of the yardage.
That play was all Jack DeLuca, and I'm a big Noah Apple fan, but he threw it a little bit behind him, and it cost Jack his speed, his pace. He had to slow down, he had to break down, he had to turn behind. And then he broke not 1 but 2 tackles to get that thing right up there hugged against the sticks for a 3rd and 1. Great play by Jack DeLuca.
I was talking to Jack's dad, Steve, coming in today. Steve has moved out of the area, comes in on Fridays to watch his son play, and he is officially acclimated to the climate where he currently lives as Reese Miller walks it into the end zone from 12 yards out. Touchdown, Wildcats.
That's about a 7.5-yard drive. It was funny because Redland just had it for 6.5 and no points, and then Mechanicsburg gets the ball, after the touchback, and they take the ball really 82 yards in that series and punch that in, and that's a long drive because we're now at the 8:12 mark of the second quarter.
The hole that opened up on the right side of the offensive line was perfect for Reese Miller as he scores his 12th of the year. Over 1,200 yards rushing this season as well. Tanner Minnick's extra point kick is up and good. 8:12 remaining in the first half. It's Mechanicsburg 7, Redland nothing. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back to Memorial Park. John H. Frederick Field, Mike Garland, Dave Harris. We're hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's web stream presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. The Wildcats on the board first as Reese Miller goes in from about 12 yards out. His 12th rushing touchdown of the year. The Cats up 7-0. Tanner Minnick to kickoff. And back deep for Redland will be Kason Hoffman along with Logan English. And it's a low liner that bounces at the feet of Hoffman. He picks it up at the 14-yard line, jumps over Tanner Minnick, and that is a penalty for some reason or the other. They're going to call that against him for jumping? Or is it going to be something against the Wildcats?
I think it was based on something previous to him jumping, but I can't say I saw what it was.
Okay. I mean, I can't imagine trying to hurdle a defender as a penalty, even at the high school level.
No, that's not. Or trying to tackle a guy who's jumping over you, I don't think is a penalty, Mike.
Oh, well, we saw a penalty called last night in the Dolphins game where a guy slipped and fell down. The call? They call that.
Hurdling.
So, okay in the spring at track season, not in the fall in a football game.
Well,
you see it at the next level all the time, but I guess it's not something you can do at the high school level.
Well, and I'm sure it's a safety protection kind of rule, and I respect it, but gosh, we've seen so much at the professional collegiate level. You can't blame the kids for doing it, and it's hard to see it as a penalty, but it is.
Athletic play by Kason Hoffman, just unfortunately flagged for his efforts. It's 1st down and 10. The Patriots with the ball on their own 18-yard line. Quinlan Shearer in the shotgun, running the option pitch left, Eli Phillips. Phillips tries to turn the corner, picks up about 6 yards. Tackle made by Danny Kurtz. And Jack DeLuca, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, the key for the Cats, like it's been all season long, is bend but don't break. Don't give up the big play. Make them earn it. Hold on for false starts. Hold on for holds. Hold on for turnovers. Just keep him in front of you, work left to right, smack him in the mouth. You don't have to pitch a shutout. You don't have to tackle him behind the line every time. Just don't let him break for big plays.
Shearer, quarterback keeper, tripped up just past the line of scrimmage. Dylan Taylor with the tackle, and I think Shearer's tall, lanky frame is going to be enough to move the chains for that first down. And for Dylan Taylor, his 43rd tackle this year. Now his 24th solo to go with 19 assists. He's got a sack, a tackle for loss, a forced fumble. So that's a name for the Wildcat defense and the junior Dylan Taylor that we've said more and more week over week.
Yeah, Shearer's somebody I think we were pretty excited to see coming into week 6. And he did some nice things, but clearly they didn't score an offensive touchdown. And we've seen a little more out of him tonight, so it's kind of exciting to see how he's going to evolve here over the next couple of quarters here.
Shearer under pressure. Colin Stair chasing him, gets the pass away to Isaiah Ambush. And a flag on the play. It's going to be holding against the Redland Patriots, and there's a reason that Quinlan Shearer was not sacked by Colin Stair, and that's because Colin Stair got mugged in the backfield.
Well, you know what? You face a player like Colin Stair, and you got very few kids who can block him straight up. So you either got to chip him and almost a double team, or truly double team him. And sometimes you got to say to your guy, buddy, do the best you can, and maybe we can get away with it. Well, they didn't get away with it there.
So the down remains 1, but the distance is now about 25. So Redland certainly leading in the penalty category tonight. Not a stat that if you're head coach Jamie Thomas, you want to be leading in, but more than a handful of penalties have had them playing from behind the sticks throughout this first half.
Well, and if you're Coach Hackard, you're just trying to gauge what can hurt us. Where are we vulnerable? Where are they strong? And we just aren't seeing it right now.
A wide receiver reverse with Kason Hoffman trying to turn the corner. Can't do it. Danny Kurtz gets him at the 22. A gain of maybe 3 or 4 on the play. Actually closer to about 10. So it's going to bring up a 2nd and 15 for the Patriots.
Well, you're sitting there second and, I don't know what it is. They got it at 8:19 on the scoreboard. I don't know if it's 15, but it's somewhere in between.
It's a moving target over there. Every time I look up the sticks.
Well, the reality is there just aren't plays in the playbook for that, right? So you're like, can we get a couple back? Well, when you call a receiver reverse, you're not hoping to get 4 yards or 5 yards or 7 yards. You're hoping to do something bigger. But you got to do something, try to get some forward momentum and get yourself in a more advantageous situation to call your game plan.
Shearer, sacked. Colin Stair with the sack and tackle for loss.
So good to see him have that success. Colin Stair does whatever this team needs him to do, and he does. He plays his position. He stays at home. He holds his gap. He holds his man, right? He lets the linebackers make plays, but every once in a while he gets that opportunity, and it's so great to see him cash in on it and see him celebrate that. Shearer didn't have a chance.
Drake Dawson in on that sack as well, and a teammate that I saw come in to congratulate both, Landon Yale. Great to see him back on the field after being out for 3 or 4 games, so having Yale back on the field to go along with Dawson and Colin Stair, that's a formidable defensive down 3. So it's 3rd down and 24, and another tackle for loss, this time Drake Dawson and Jack DeLuca.
Well, and it says a couple things to me, right? If you're Redland, if you're Mechanicsburg, if you're a fan, if you're a coach, this is huge, right? This is huge. Mechanicsburg 2 plays and out. Redland down the field, but doesn't quite finish it, doesn't figure it out, punch the ball. Okay, Mechanicsburg takes it down, scores. All right, here we got it back. This is going to be a Donnybrook. We're going to go back and forth. According to Mechanicsburg defense, no, we're not. We're not going to go back and forth. This is how it's going to feel. We're going to impose our will. We're going to take the ball back, and then we'll see what happens.
J.J. Gould standing on his own 48-yard line as Alan Lindenmuth punts it away. And contact for Lindenmuth, but he was outside of, I guess, what would be described as the protective pocket for punters. And J.J. Gould is tackled near the 40. I can't believe that Lindenmuth would have been thinking about a fake on 4th and 24.
He wasn't. It's that Australian rules football, that Australian kick, and there's nothing wrong with it. But you can't run 6 yards, kick it, and not think you're going to get hit. Because once you leave, if you take a direct snap, take your steps forward and kick it, you're protected. Once you flush out, you're no longer protected. One of the Redland players turns to look at the official, and the official's like, dude, get out of here. Like, your guy ran outside the hash mark before he got hit.
You have the same scenario for a quarterback outside the pocket. There's different protections when you're outside the pocket versus standing in the standard punting formation.
So we've talked about the defense starting to impose their will for the Wildcats. It's 7-0, 4 minutes left. Cats have 3 timeouts, so plenty of time, good field position, the 40-yard line. But it'd be really nice here for the offense to impose their will.
Reese Miller takes the handoff on 1st and 10 from the 40, surges forward for 6. It's going to be a 2nd down and 4. And don't forget the Wildcats will get the ball to start the second half. So they have a chance to go back-to-back with their possessions here on the back half of the second quarter and then beginning of the third.
Well, and you have that as a cushion, but you really want to cash this one in. You want to go to that field house with all the momentum in the world. You want to have them licking their wounds. You want to have them trying to figure out what they can do to get something going their way. 7-0, they don't have to panic nearly as much.
Reese Miller, contact near the line of scrimmage. He gains maybe 1 yard on the play. Jaden Ramos with the tackle. I want to thank our friends at Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, the official press box meal provider of Wildcat Athletics. Their guy Bill that runs the place there, great to work with. And if you get a chance to stop in a Chick-fil-A, anytime, I don't think you can go wrong with pretty much any item on the menu there. So we thank them for their community support and their food.
Does he give you a bill?
No.
No, well, that's good. Even better yet then.
Yeah, no bill from Bill. 3rd down and 3. Apple hands to Reese Miller, met near the line of scrimmage, going to be very close to the line to gain. And if the spot is where the far side official says, the Cats are going to be just short of the 1st down, bringing up 4th and inches. And that offense will no doubt stay on the field, and they go heavy, bringing out Drake Dawson and Colin Stair. We saw Stair get a carry last week against Shippensburg near the goal line. I would be surprised to see Noah Apple, if it's not a quarterback sneak, hand it to Colin Stair.
Well, this is exciting. If you're a football fan, right, whether you're sitting in the stands tonight or whether you're sitting here listening to us, this is what it's all about, right? You get a shutdown here. Redland has 3 timeouts. Redland has 2 minutes. Redland has the ball, right? So for them to shut it down, for the Cats to get the 1st down, big play.
So it is 4th and inches, and it is going to be Colin Stair with the run. And the senior utility player does it all for the Wildcats, gaining about 10.
Well, as great as that was for Colin, and I'm so happy for Colin, I'm proud of Colin, I didn't see the Redland defense do one thing to adjust to a 4th and short, to the situation, which is we have a chance to stop this, get the ball back. Maybe you take a timeout after you see the formation. Okay, maybe you don't. They had 4 down linemen. They weren't even trying to stop the short yardage run.
1st down and 10. Reese Miller sidecar right to Noah Apple. Reese Miller off right guard. Stumbles forward before Eli Phillips brings him down at a gain of 5. And I think we're starting to see that Wildcat offensive line, like they did against Hershey, start to wear down, in this case, the Redland defense.
Well, but they got to start to go no huddle because they haven't used their timeouts yet, and we're at 1:27. So they quickly get up to the line of scrimmage. But
passes complete on the near side to Ryan Foose, but it's going to be a Wildcat holding penalty, bringing this positive gain backwards.
Yeah, I've been called at least fair at worst against officials, Mike, I think, over the course of the season. But maybe that's not always true. But I will say this. What I love about the playoffs, we got a familiar opponent. You got a completely new set of officials. We got 7 guys, not a 5-man crew. We got a 7-man crew, and completely new. Have never seen either team this season. And so that's refreshing. That means they're going to call it like they see it, for better or for worse.
They don't know tendencies. They just know football. It is 2nd down and 16 following the penalty. Jack DeLuca goes in motion. Apple, screen to Reese Miller. Reese Miller working off a couple of blocks into the 2nd, now 3rd level, and he's going to pick up the 1st down for the Wildcats. The chains are going to move. Cats looking for no huddle, but there's a flag near midfield.
I'm not sure what that is. Obviously, they're probably going to get him for a hold. I don't know. It was well called, well-executed screen pass.
So the officials come together to have a conversation, and we'll wait for the call forthcoming from Jim Kempf. They're going to wave that flag off, so it is a 1st down. That gives the Cats a chance to hustle to the line of scrimmage because the clock stops for that conversation. So they're able to save a timeout at least at the moment.
Once it sets, though, they should wind it here, right? He's going to wind this, the White Hat will, right, once everything's all set.
If the Cats do it right, they can snap it as soon as the whistle blows, and here we go.
Yep.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Apple, quarterback keeper. Apple bouncing outside, cuts back in, ambush with the tackle along with Jordan Hill. and he's going to be very close to the line to gain one more time. Now a timeout has been taken. We'll keep it right here. So, Dave, I mentioned a couple of the other playoff games involving District 3 teams. Mechanicsburg and Redland, Shippensburg at Warwick, Lower Dauphin at Exeter Township. Well, Mifflin County is also a Mid-Penn Keystone team, but they are in District 6. They are in the District 6 tournament as a 3 seed at DuBois tonight. So you have a handful of Keystone teams in between the 4 teams from District 3 that are in on the top half of the standings, you've got Hershey at 7-3. They were also 6-3, and they are on the outside looking in. That's just a tough one for Coach Painter and the Hershey Trojans.
It is, but I've coached in the Keystone or the Mid-Penn 2 for years, and there were a lot of years there were 4 teams that made the playoffs, and then there were 8 teams that made the playoffs. Then there were 12 teams that made the playoffs. Now there's 16 teams that make the playoffs. If you lose 0 games and you don't make the playoffs, you got something to talk about. You got 1, you might have an argument, but I don't know that you have a case. 2 and beyond, you didn't take care of your business.
2nd down and 1 following the Mechanicsburg timeout. Miller, 3-step drop, pass complete on the near side, Ryan Foose. Ryan Foose tries to cut back right. He is corralled down by Kaysen Hoffman inside the 15. So the chains are going to move as the Cats are in the red zone. Hurry up offense as well for Mechanicsburg. 40 seconds and counting on a running clock. The Cats with 2 timeouts left, so still plenty of time. It's a reverse. Jack DeLuca fakes it back to Noah Apple. Jack DeLuca with a stiff arm. DeLuca looking to turn the corner, and he is tackled near the 5-yard line by Colin McConaughey, and a tackle by, a timeout Wildcats.
Yeah, I don't think I think I've given Jack DeLuca a lot of credit for the player he is this season. I'm not sure I've given him credit for the athlete he is this season. That speed right there, he gets that reverse. He kind of fakes a pitch back. It doesn't really affect the defense, and it was really just a headsy play to kind of get that guy to freeze, to drop his hips, to sit down in space and create something, and it didn't. And Jack DeLuca still outran him and set that thing up beautifully.
26.4 seconds remaining in the first half. Wildcat Athletics would like to recognize the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department for their continued support of our web streams. With the Recreation Department in Mechanicsburg, you can immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From creative crafts, dance, to fitness opportunities and family fun, they offer a little something for everybody. Don't miss out on fantastic experiences that inspire, enrich, and bring the community together. Visit mbgsd.org, download the district app, or stop by their office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center to learn more. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure. And we also have new adventures week in and week out as that athletic trainer Sandy Zettelmoyer trotting out onto the field. Do they find a blood spot on the turf?
Back to our previous conversation, we're talking about playoffs. 7-3 team here in 03. We had a quarterback who was bound for Notre Dame eventually, a tight end going to Penn, a receiver who went to Penn State to punt, another receiver who caught 70 passes here, finished 7-3. We don't make the playoffs. So Hershey far from the first team to be in that situation.
Reese Miller takes the handoff. Reese Miller, a sprint to the end zone. Touchdown! Wildcats. Reese Miller from 5 yards out.
That's huge. It's huge. They set it up. The screen pass was a great call. Flag gets waved off. They come back. They come with the reverse to DeLuca. So they're showing him a little bit of everything. We can run inside. We can run outside. We can do some trickery. We'll throw the screen pass. And as a play caller, you just sometimes get in a zone. In that series right there, Coach Frank Rubinek was in the zone.
And again, a reminder, the Wildcats will have possession to start the second half as Tanner Minnick readies to attempt the extra point. Noah Apple up from his holder position, but instead of thinking it might be a fake, he was realigning the blocking formation. So Apple back down to a knee. Mechanicsburg's extra point kick is up and good, but interestingly enough, I think they're going to call illegal formation against Mechanicsburg. So we'll wait for the call from referee Jim Kemp as both the kicking and defense stay on the field. A motion penalty actually is going to be the call against the Cats. And he will come to the near side to have a conversation with Dave Hecker to, I think, explain exactly what happened. And I guess we're going to re-kick the down because the penalty occurred before the extra point left the foot of Tanner Minnick.
Yeah, and these are bigger plays than you think. Right now all the momentum's in Mechanicsburg's way. We are going to get the ball to come out of the second half. But this is a big point. This is a big point in terms of maintaining the control that we just seized with that touchdown.
So the Cats will try the extra point from 5 yards further back. Somewhat fitting that Tanner Minnick kicked his first field goal last week, so now he's got some practice with longer distance kicks. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's just as good as the last one. 20.3 seconds remaining in the first half. Mechanicsburg 14, Redland nothing. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
We are dedicated to serving our members, associates, and communities because they give us purpose. We know we are stronger when we come together as one. We believe financial literacy is a key tool for personal well-being, economic stability, and a more secure financial future for everyone. And we are committed to providing all with access to financial wellness resources. We strive to deliver unparalleled experiences for our members through every moment and milestone. We are built by will, forged by people, and powered by a proud member experience.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field. It's the opening round of the District 3 5A football playoffs, and Mechanicsburg leading Redland 14-0. The Cats the 6 seed, Redland the 11 seed, and the winner will play Bishop McDevitt next Friday at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium on the palatial campus of Bishop McDevitt High School. Minnick, that kickoff, fielded at about the 27-yard line by one of the up men for the Patriots, Jonathan High. And High is tackled low by J.J. Gould. First down and 10 for Redland at the 42.
Yeah, this is one where, you know, if you're Redland, on one hand, you're tempted to kneel on it. You don't want anything bad to happen. A pick six, a strip sack, a scoop and score. On the other hand, the Cats have really imposed their will. Other than that first drive where they threw the interception, and it was a deep one. It wasn't it was a low percentage risk, but they took it, and it bit them in the butt. They haven't done much wrong tonight, right? They've run the ball, they've thrown the ball, and particularly defense been impressive.
There will almost certainly be a penalty coming, or I would think, because Redland had a man in the huddle who trotted to the sideline. Well, they don't throw the flag, so much for almost certainly, as that pass was incomplete. It was intended for Colin McConaughey. I look back at referee Jim Kemp, and he was tapping his hat as if to signify an illegal player, but whatever the reason, there was no penalty called.
Well, you're not supposed to break the huddle with 12, but at the end of the day, he got off the field. There was so much time. Sometimes it happens like bang, bang, and the defense is reacting to the guy running out thinking they have to cover him, and that's illegal, right? It creates a
deception,
false sense, right? So a deceptive play. There wasn't one there. Now I don't know that I understand that rule fully to know why it was not a penalty, and sometimes it is a penalty.
Hey, we just learned that hurdling is a penalty at the high school level earlier. Shearer with the empty-handed pump fake, scrambling to his right, and he walks out of bounds, escorted along the way by Dylan Taylor. That was an interesting play fake in that he threw with one hand and not the other.
Yeah, you know, he's an impressive-looking kid. I mean, he has some size. He has some athleticism. He throws the ball well. I don't. Well, look at the ball blowing away.
The ball is rolling away. It is windy.
We're inside here, so I can't say I feel that wind, but I saw that ball roll over there. So somebody took a timeout. But the point is, he's an impressive athlete. I don't know if it's lack of receivers or if it's the scheme, what it is that kind of they're not able to fully take advantage of, I think, the skills that he actually personally possesses.
The cheerleaders here for the Wildcats, we don't see them on screen, but they are in full costume tonight as it is Halloween night. Trick or treat last night for Mechanicsburg Borough. I guess you have to give them credit. They did not have a rain date. I think they were taking some flack on social media, but the weather turned out perfect last night. So trick or treat last night at the Mechanicsburg Borough. Upper Allen will have trick or treat tomorrow, but these young ladies, hopefully we can show them at some point in full-on costume regalia, including two young ladies dressed like the Smurfs, and I applaud them for knowing who the Smurfs are.
I'm just glad we didn't have social media during the Second World War, the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, because the pundits who sit at home behind their computers and their phones seem to know everything, and yet somebody else is charged with making the decision.
That's true.
And it seemed to be a pretty good decision last night because it ended up being a gorgeous night in
Beautiful
Mechanicsburg.
Night.
Exactly.
Third down and 7 following the Redland timeout. Shearer under pressure. Anthony Francis, he is on a full-on sprint, and that pass is incomplete. That is the end of the first half. Francis is a fast young man, and Quinlan Shearer did everything he could to run away from him. The Cats are headed to the locker room leading 14-0 in this opening round of the playoffs. We're going to check in with our friends at Operation Wildcat following a hugely successful yard sale last week. We're going to check in with some bonus OW content here at halftime. Mechanicsburg 14, Redland nothing. Back in a bit, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville or call 717-360-8249.
Hey there, Wildcat fans. It's Mike Garland, voice of Wildcat Athletics. And that map you're looking at and those little blue pins, they represent the central Pennsylvania locations of our broadcast partners. From our presenting sponsor, 11 Oaks Farms, to the south and west in Newville, to one of our newest partners, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming on South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, and everywhere in between, these are community-oriented businesses and their dollars are supporting Wildcat Athletics. So in turn, fans, I ask you to support them. Pick up the phone and price their services. Shop in their store locations. Tell them you heard about it during a broadcast of Wildcat Athletics. Go to mbgsd.org or download the new district app and navigate to the Athletics tab to learn more about each one of these great central Pennsylvania businesses. We thank them for their support and encourage you to support them as well.
For over 68 years, the Wilbur name has been impacting the Mechanicsburg community. When you hear Wilbur, you think family, quality, experience, trustworthy, and professionalism. Hi, I'm Jeff Wilbur, owner of Wilbur Plumbing, Heating, and Air. We are a family-run business in the Mechanicsburg area. We want to be delivering the best value when it comes to plumbing and heating and air conditioning services.
Wilbur Plumbing and Heating and Air provides services within the home. We do HVAC, indoor air quality, water treatment, plumbing fixture replacement of all kinds, pretty much life improvement things that we can focus on within the home. Customer's home is very important to us, and everything that matters to them in this life happens at that home.
Wilbur is there 24/7, 365 days a year. When you call us, you're going to get a live voice, not a recording, and we will be here for you no matter what time you call.
If you're thinking that you're ready for that next level of service, I would love to be the company that helps you. I'd love for you to give us a shot.
I'm Jeff Wilbur.
And I'm Josh Wilbur.
And you can count on our company.
Because you can count on us.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Welcome back, Wildcat fans. The broadcast continues live on Go Mechanicsburg, and it is time to check in with our friends at Operation Wildcat. It is an Operation Wildcat bonus edition here in the playoffs, and we are checking in with Heather Person-Bauer. She is the project chair for Project Smile and project co-chair for Project Spring for Socks. Heather, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Doing all right, thank you. Okay, so we're talking not only Project Smile, but Project Spring for Socks. Let's start with Project Smile, where you are the project chair. What is this all about?
We take donations, and mostly from dentists, toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, any dental hygiene products for kids or families in the school district that are in need. And with that also, like Thanksgiving's coming up, so if we have a lot of stock with the toothbrushes, etc., then we will give each families their set of toothbrushes, toothpaste, dental floss, for them, like for the whole family.
And this is district families, district students. Is it grades K through 12, or is there a window limitation?
Nope, K through 12.
Perfect. And if a family is interested, be it for their family, for their child, what's the best way to go about sort of reaching out and saying, hey, we need some help here?
They need to contact the counselor at the school. For each grade has a counselor, and contact the counselor.
And then the counselor will reach out to you guys, and there's a very thick level of anonymity that comes with this. They would say, and my understanding from doing these interviews over the last 10 weeks is the guidance counselor may reach out and say, we have a family that needs 4 toothbrushes and whatever, and that's, you don't know who the family is, you just know you need to get 4 toothbrushes.
Yes, we don't know. Nope, everything is confidential.
And how long have you been involved with Project Smile? Like, what brings you back to this particular project year over year?
I have been doing this project, I would say, for about 2.5 years. And I love doing this. So, the dentists, like, they'll reach out and they'll give us donations. And I just love putting together the kits for the children. And because it is very important, dental hygiene is very important.
Well, and a good smile goes a long way as well. I mean, the smile on your face, and anybody that can project a great smile with the pearly whites, and it's a confidence builder. It's such a core value.
Yes, absolutely.
And when you help these families, what kind of feedback do you get from them?
Oh, we get so many thanks, and the families are just so grateful. They can't believe this organization that we do stuff like this, because we have the smiles, we have the socks, we have clothes, we have furniture, we have Project Glam. If they need help with, any of the holidays, Thanksgiving meals, Christmas meals, like, we have it all, and they're so grateful. This organization is a wonderful organization, and it's community driven. So,
and you mentioned, by the way,
makes it special.
Pardon me, you had mentioned that you get donations from dental offices. Is there one in particular that you would want to promote, or there's so many that partake that it's not fair to call one out over another?
The Cattery in Mechanicsburg, PA. I think I'm saying it correctly. And Smiles on Trindle.
Okay.
Both of those have given pretty large donations.
Always cool to have a local group that can appreciate another local group. Is there anything else you'd like to add about Project Smile?
Anytime, if anybody needs anything, contact your counselor, and we'll get the supplies, everything ready for you. You'll never go without. And if anyone knows of dentists, their own dentists that would like to donate to our community, like to our Operation Wildcat for Smiles, reach out to me. My email and my phone number is on the list for the chairperson on the Operation Wildcat website.
So visit the website, get Heather's contact info, learn how you can make a difference for a district family. Every little bit counts. And I would assume, and correct me if I'm wrong, if maybe you're not in a position to give toothbrush, toothpaste, floss, mouthwash, whatever, if you want to make a monetary donation, Operation Wildcat would take that in as well, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you mentioned also being involved, or I guess I mentioned you're also involved in Project Spring for Socks. Let's kind of reset and talk about what Spring for Socks is all about.
Okay. I've been involved in this program for about 4 years, and my son actually graduated in 2023, but I continue to still do this program for the socks. That's how I originally started. Because it's very important. I mean, you need socks, you need your, undergarments, and everything's brand new, and it is very expensive, as far as which we know the prices nowadays, but if families are in need of that stuff, we have it, everything's brand new, and I really like the drives that the schools do in the springtime, because that shows their dedication as a community, like with the donations that we receive. And it's very important, but it makes me smile when I go to each school and I pick up the donations. It's wonderful.
So let me ask you this about the socks. I know that clothing donations in general are to go to the middle school, and socks do kind of fall under clothing. However, if you have socks to donate, it sounds like they can be donated to any school to bring them by for this particular project, or should they still just go to the middle school?
Nope. You can donate to each, if whatever elementary school. Even at the high school, if you want your donations, just take them over to the office, and they'll call and tell us that they're there, and I'll go pick them up, or another volunteer with our organization would go pick them up, or anybody can drop them off at the middle school as well.
Perfect. And another scenario where if you're in need, you go to the school's guidance counselor and they reach out to you guys and they say, we need a pack of socks. It needs to be this size, et cetera, basically.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. Anything else you'd like to add?
We do usually in April, the end of April, we do an open house. And that's when we open our warehouse, the Operation Wildcat warehouse up. And that's very important. Everything's confidential, so families can come down, and that it goes for the smiles, the socks, the clothes, shoes, books, back to school items. We have it all down there. So, and we always put that on our website, and it would be in a newsletter. And again, contact the counselor. Everything's confidential.
Sounds pretty tidy, all wrapped up with a nice bow, and a great way to help folks. Thank you so very much, Heather. We appreciate it. In closing, anything you'd like to add on either project?
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for this wonderful community, for all the help that and volunteers, everything. This has been amazing. And also, if anybody wants to volunteer to our program, feel free to reach out to Leslie or any of the chairpersons on our team, and we could use the help.
That's Leslie Collins, by the way, that she's referencing. Maureen Ross, also one of the head honchos with Operation Wildcat. And as I mentioned, you are the co-chair for Project Spring for Socks. So if you'd like to tag team with Heather in a Spring for Socks venture going forward, she'd be your go-to. So thank you so very much, Heather, and have yourself a great evening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Heather. Always great to hear about what Operation Wildcat has going on. And a big congratulations to Operation Wildcat and to our community for such a successful Operation Wildcat Fall Yard Sale. They'll be doing it again in the spring. You can get details at operationwildcat.org. Also, don't forget, if you are looking to make a donation to the warehouse, you can do so in person at 507 North York Street in Mechanicsburg, Saturdays and Sundays between 1 and 3 p.m. Please only make your donations during those hours. Otherwise, you're just dumping your stuff. And if you've got clothing donations to make, you can do that at the middle school during normal business hours. Again, operationwildcat.org, the website. There's emails, contact info, and more for all of their project chairs, and a lot of great things coming up from our friends at Operation Wildcat. We're going to take a break. Be right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Locally owned and operated, 11 Oaks Farms raises Wagyu beef and heritage breed pork right here in Newville, Pennsylvania. Our low-stress practices and carefully designed diets produce some of the finest meats you will ever experience. We also offer a selection of quality Angus beef, pork, chicken, seasonings, sauces, pantry items, and much more. Shop online at 11oaksfarms.com. Visit us in-store at 34 North Corporation Street in Newville, or call 717-360-8249.
Does your property need a little TLC? Call Lawnscapes Inc. of Mechanicsburg today at 717-697-1833 and see how Wes Moret and his team can transform or maintain your residential or commercial property. From hardscapes to yard services of all types, tree and shrub surface and more, this locally owned and operated business has you covered. Call today for your free estimate. Lawnscapes Inc. at 717-697-1833. That's 717-697-1833.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Saying that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Elevate your everyday with the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department. Immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. From adrenaline-pumping sports to serene outdoor escapes, we've got your perfect recreation blend. Join us for fitness, family fun, and fantastic experiences. Unleash your inner adventurer. It's time for a thrilling escape. Visit mbgsd.org and click on the Recreation tab, or drop by your office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. Mechanicsburg Area Recreation, where every moment is a new adventure.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision, that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
And welcome back to Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field. Mike Garland, Dave Harris. We're hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. It is Halloween night, and things have been pretty spooky for the Redland Patriots thus far, trailing 14-0. More than a handful of penalties have set them behind the sticks pretty much from the outset. They had one solid drive which resulted in no points. Meanwhile, the Cats have come out and basically have done, Dave, what they do best, and that is run the football and have an offensive line that dominates play. And they're up 14-0 and will get the football back to start the second half.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, Mike, you say that. I look at my little sheet here, and you know, the last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of possessions. We've had a lot of possessions for the Mechanicsburg, for the opposing team. There were 3 possessions in the second quarter. Redland kept the ball for a while, punted it. Mechanicsburg got it back, took it down for a score, a long drive, mind you. And then Redland got it, and that was the half. So, it feels like the momentum's all Mechanicsburg way, and they're getting the ball. You never have enough points. It's never enough points. If they can find a way to go get 7 here, I think they can feel really, really good about playing next Friday night.
Absolutely, and the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders await the Wildcats or the Patriots next week at Rocco Hortensio Stadium. One score from out of town that I am aware of, Warwick leads Shippensburg at the half, 9-7. Those two teams actually met last year in the playoffs, so a rematch there between the Warriors and the Greyhounds.
Yeah, it's great to see the Mid-Penn do this, right? To have 4 teams in the 5A playoffs. They got a quarter of the playoff field, right? You got York, you got Lank Lebanon, you got Burke. So, you got – and they're the other league. So we've got the hold on it that we should have. It's right where we should be. Obviously, Mifflin is also in the playoffs, just not in District 3. And they've taken turns beating up on each other. You pointed out Hershey not being here. Lower Dauphin is in. Ship is in. Redland is in. and they've just kind of traded blows all year long. But it's been a good competitive season, and good for fans in all these communities.
Elias Taki will kick it off for the Redland Patriots. It's going to be fielded by J.J. Gould near the goal line. Gould bounces off a couple of tackles, now trying to battle through 3 or 4 Redland defenders before Trace Mahan brings him down. You're talking about the bracket, York Adams, Lancaster, Lebanon, Berks in the mid-pen. Well, the top 4 seeds, the teams that got the bye, New Oxford is the number 1 seed, Conestoga Valley the number 2 seed, Bishop McDevitt the 3 seed, and Solanco the 4 seed. So I referenced the Warwick-Shippensburg game. The winner of that one plays Solanco. New Oxford gets the winner of Spring Grove and Muhlenberg. Exeter and Lower Dauphin, well, that winner will face Conestoga Valley, and then, of course, tonight's winner faces Bishop McDevitt. The first offensive possession for the Wildcats in the second half will start on their own 22-yard line. Heavy backfield with Drake Dawson and Colin Stair leading the way. And Reese Miller will take the handoff before running into Kaysen Hoffman. A gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7 for the Cats.
Yeah, every time I think I'm going to make a prediction, well, I make it, and I'm usually wrong. So as long as it results in a score, I don't care. But I think, if you're Coach Hecker, let's come out. Let's do what we do, right? Let's grind the ball a little bit. Let's run the clock a little bit. Let's hold on to the football a little bit. That doesn't mean they won't sprinkle in the screen or they won't sprinkle in a stretch the field, throw it down, or try to catch DeLuca on the perimeter and let him do something. But let's just go get it. Let's run the ball, run at them, and see what we can do.
Noah Apple on the quarterback keeper comes around the corner following a lead block from Drake Dawson, escorted out of bounds by Anthony Plever. So a big weekend for Wildcat Athletics. At the beginning of halftime, many of the fall sport athletes were recognized individually and as teams that are excelling here in the fall, including district championship teams, soccer and field hockey. And by district championship teams, I mean they are playing in the district championships tomorrow. Soccer is at Landis Field on the campus of the former Central Dauphin High School, now the middle school, as they play in the district finals against Manheim Township. Field hockey is home against Penn Manor as Reese Miller will pick up a first down, a gain of about 20, not to mention a couple of cross-country runners that are running for state placement at Hershey.
When you start talking about names, you get yourself in trouble, and I think I usually do that. It's hard to, I did it last year. I've done it each of the years I've done this. You try to compare eras. You try to compare teams. You bring up names from the past. Reese Miller he's just been dynamic. He's not the same as other players we've seen, but he is physical. He runs with a physicality. He runs with a stubbornness, and it's hard. I'm not trying to say he's better than. But it's really hard for me to compare him to a previous runner. We've had burners. We've had low to the ground, shoulder pads down, grind it out. We've had intellectual visionaries who can see the hole and find it. He just runs with a reckless abandon. And, each week you go, well, what are we going to do? And then as the game unfolds, there's Reese Miller going for a first down multiple times.
He picked up 2 on first down there. It's 2nd down and 8. Drake Dawson is the fullback with Miller the deep back. 2 wide receivers to the right. Apple rolling to his right. Opts to keep. Turns on the Jets and slides after a gain of 14. He shifted into an extra gear as he turned that corner, and I saw you pointing. Drake Dawson was wide open in the flat. He could have just as easily dumped it to Drake for maybe a similar, if not equal to, gain, but instead kept it. Now, he did take a hit. He gave himself up, but he took a hit, and he's still sort of shaking it off.
I think he just jammed a thumb is what it looks like here. But you're correct, Mike, in that I saw the Dawson dump it out to him. But that holds the D-back, right? That holds the D-back. He saw that, and you're right. He kicked into a gear I'm not sure we've seen him have, and he's a hell of a player. But he kicked it in, and off he went for that first down.
Grady Weaver is in the game. Change of speed, change of pace back, picks up 9. And talking about those backs, last year it was Isaac Dolman. This year it's Reese Miller. In years past, Sage Thomas, Keegan Neal, the Brewbakers, Jeff Luigi. You think about guys just during my time over the last 6 years that have carried the rock, and I know I probably haven't even scratched the surface on those that have made an impact, and there are so many great ones before I came on board into the Mechanicsburg community, but it's just hard to compare year over year. It's like trying to compare generations of basketball or baseball players, right? Just, things are different. Drake Dawson on the inside handoff, inside the 25, down to the 24 before Anthony Plever brings him down. And there are just, I talk about a change of pace back with Grady Weaver. Well, it's a whole different pace when Drake Dawson's carrying the ball.
Well, if you're Coach Ecker, you're just so excited right now. I mean, I don't want to say everything you're dialing up is working, but you've got a lot of numbers to call, right? You got a lot of numbers to dial. And this is kind of a break your will, impose your will kind of drive, and they are doing it. Obviously, until they punch it in, it doesn't matter, but it seems like they're well on their way to doing that.
Grady Weaver one more time met near the line of scrimmage. The combo tackle from Jonathan High along with Alan Lindenmuth, and a gain of 1 on the play. Redland's going to call a timeout. We'll take this opportunity to step out as well. Tonight's game presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. We'll be right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Operation Wildcat is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to pool the resources in our community to help our school district students, families, and staff members in need. We'll take your new or gently used back-to-school items, bikes, books, clothing, dresses and suits, furniture, Halloween costumes, gifts for the holiday, Christmas tree decorations, pennies, socks, underwear, Thanksgiving food, toothbrushes and toothpaste, and yard sale items. Learn more at OperationWildcat.org and go Wildcats.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Taking a look at some of the Wildcat cheerleaders, again dressed up for the Halloween season. There's Papa Smurf. Somewhere down there was Smurfette. And I referenced earlier how proud I am of these young ladies for even knowing who the Smurfs are, as Coach Jamie Thomas calls that timeout. And maybe the best way to call that one is a save-the-season type of timeout, right? The Cats have come out of the gate here in the second half. They've gone right down the field, and that needed to be some sort of wake-up timeout, but it gives the Cats a chance to pick up a first down through the air. Now a flag on a late hit on the sideline as J.J. Gould got popped. It's going to be a first down and then a few yards, as Noah Apple comes over to the sideline, I think still favoring that left hand following that run a couple of plays ago. But he's certainly a gamer. I don't think there's going to be anything taking him out of the game unless it's Coach Heckert that says so.
Yeah, big play there for the Cats. There's no doubt, if you're on the Redland sideline, it's now or never. The Cats getting up 21-0 with the defense they've had. I mean, so far Redland's played 6 quarters against us with 0 offensive touchdowns. And they had more first downs in the first drive of tonight's game than I think they had in the other 5 quarters. So you got to stop them now. You got to find a way, and I think it was a smart decision, a well-used timeout. Unfortunately, I'm not sure it's bared any fruit just yet.
Targeting was the call against the Redland Patriots, so first and goal for the Cats from the 4-yard line. The heavy offensive package in as well. Dylan Taylor in. Colin Stair in, under 8 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Cats looking for touchdown number 3. Colin Stair, the lead blocking back. Noah Apple under center with Reese Miller, the deep back. The handoff to Reese Miller. He is met at the line of scrimmage, still on his feet, but brought down by Alan Lindenmuth. Also in on the tackle, Jordan Hill. Second and goal from the 2, maybe 3-yard line.
Yeah, if you're the Cats, you want to score, right? You got to score. I think the score starts to put this game into its final chapter, if you will. But that being said, you also got to run some clock. Redland still might find a way to get off 30 snaps, and they're going to throw the ball around a little bit, and fluke things happen. So it ain't the worst thing that they didn't score on that play, Mike, as long as they score.
Grady Weaver is in. Reese Miller is out. Drake Dawson now the fullback for the Wildcats. Colin Stair lining up in the tight end position on the left side of the screen. Weaver takes the toss. Weaver cuts back right. He is stood up near the line of scrimmage and kept out of the end zone one more time. And a nice job by the Redland defense coming up tough. Jonathan High leading the way for the Patriots.
I love that they call on Grady Weaver on this drive. I think it speaks to what high school football really is about and should be about. It's a team game. We need 30, 35 guys. Everybody brings something. Everybody brings something different. And it isn't often in a two-score, in a two-possession high school playoff football game that you start giving the ball to a guy you didn't give it to in the first half. And Grady Weaver deserves that opportunity. He's earned that this season, and he darn near punched that in.
Collins stare, no, check it. Pass back of the end zone. Drake Dawson, touchdown, Wildcats.
You call that checkmate, and I don't mean checkmate on the game because it's only 3 scores to none, 20-0, but it's checkmate in that when they drew that up and when they called that, they knew there's nothing you're going to have to stop this. And boy, did they execute it right to the same level of precision. Beautiful.
Well, the last time around, the Cats were only able to put up 14 on the Redland Patriots, yielding 7 thus far. They've put up 20 with the extra point pending, and the Patriots have yet to find the end zone. Touchdowns aplenty for the Wildcats as Tanner Minnick's extra point is true. 6:23 remaining in the third quarter. It's Mechanicsburg 21, Redland nothing. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
OSS Health is physician-owned and operated. We're able to help patients in a way that others cannot.
We're not looking at a number.
Everyone's looking out for the best thing for the patient.
Seeing that they're reaching their goals, making the community as healthy as possible.
What I love most is when I get to see them get back to the activity that they love.
When I see a patient smiling, it makes it all worth it. I love my job.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field. Mike Garland, Dave Harris, we're hanging out in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. Tonight's game presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. And I encourage you, Wildcat fans, even Patriot fans, if you're tuning in tonight, patronize some of these great sponsors. Tell them you've heard about it on the Wildcat Athletic web streams. We thank them for their continued support and thank you as well. Plever fields the kick. Plever threw a handful of tackles. The Cats were looking to kick that one short. They did so in a medium-sized return as Grady Weaver makes the tackle, and Redland will have the ball first down and 10 from their own 46-yard line.
Well, it's the best field position they've had on the night for sure. They were at the 43 once, but they're in a situation, right? And they've got a quarterback. I have to be honest with you. I paid a little more attention to the stats the first time, and they never threw the ball down the field last time. We haven't seen them throw the ball down the field this time, but you got a 4-year starter at quarterback. You got to just take some chances. You know, you got to stop playing to make it a one-possession game. You got to score points, and you got to score them quick.
Well, Shearer with the run on first down makes it to midfield, a gain of maybe 4.
Yeah, this is where, you know, I mean, and of course I never was a play caller. I never was the varsity head coach, you know, and so I'm like just about everybody else on this. I'm a fan, but let's come out, let's spread them out, let's move it around, let's dink and doink, let's take little stuff at a time, set it up, and then boom, stretch it out. And you come right back and you run a read option. It's like the game's 7-0. It's like the game's 14-7. It's not. It's 21-0. We're in the second half of the third quarter of a playoff game. Lose and go home.
Shearer in the gun. Inside handoff to Eli Phillips. And you know, this was something we saw last week with Shippensburg when the Greyhounds were down.
I don't get it.
Coach Faust continued to run the ball.
I don't get it. A loss is a loss is a loss. And too many people worry about if it's 42-3 and you lose. They, oh, my God. You lose. Well, let's try to win. And if we lose 42-3 by trying to win, and then we lose 40, it's still a loss, the same as 20-7. There's no style points. This is not the AP poll of the 1980s or the 1990s. You just got to go out and you just got to try to take advantage. Put your kids in a situation. Let them have some fun. They're going to call 3 straight running plays.
Shearer.
3 straight running plays. They got the ball on their own 46-yard line. They're in the best position they've been. They call 3 straight running plays. I don't get it.
Jordan Hill took that option pitch from Quinlan Shearer, and I would agree it's 4th down and 5. I mean, obviously 4-down territory for head coach Jamie Thomas, but if running is what you're trying to accomplish to pick up a first down, you're just not going to do it against this Wildcat defense.
You didn't last time you played them, and nobody else has done it against them. And by the way, you got the 5-0 doing something different. They touted their passing game getting to 5-0. I get it. I think he's a decent quarterback. I think they got good athletes. Give your kids a chance.
Shearer Flat-footed in the pocket. The pass is incomplete. It was intended for Colin McConaughey. Contact at the reception point. We'll look at the play one more time, but a nice job by Dylan Taylor and teammates. Darius Crawford-George as well. A big hit by DCG.
Yeah, well defensed, well hit, and it wasn't a poorly thrown ball. It wasn't a bad play. But the point is, you put it all on that play. You had 4 plays. You put it all on that play. Come out. Give us something to think about. Show us something. Force us to be playing that. Try to take something away and then come back on something else. That was easy. 2 guys sitting on it. They popped them. They lit them up. And again, I'm here on the Cat side. I'm happy with the result, but I'm just a little surprised because it ain't going to be this easy next week. I just know it isn't, right? We all know it isn't going to be.
Wide receiver screen to Jack DeLuca. DeLuca working off a block from J.J. Gould. And for a Wildcat offense that hasn't done a ton of passing this year, we've seen a touchdown pass. We've seen a deep ball that was intercepted, and we've seen a first down pass right there. The chains are going to move. It is 1st and 10. The Cats in plus territory at the Redland 37.
Well, it's the second first down pass we've had to DeLuca, and I don't know how healthy he was early in the season, Mike, in fairness. And we know Noah Apple's capable. Now, there's a difference when you're Eli Ryder and you're a 2-year starter and you've thrown over 200 passes each year. Those repetitions make a difference, and Noah does not have those repetitions. But I wouldn't count out his ability any more than I'd count out Coach Rubinick's ability to find the moment to call the right plays.
Reese Miller stood up near the line of scrimmage. He gains a yard. Ryan Foose comes out. Colin Starr comes in. Score update from Warwick. It is 16-7 Warriors over the Greyhounds with about 8 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. I want to thank my buddy Bill Gardner, Shippensburg Greyhound PA announcer and former WSYC cohort at Shippensburg University for the score updates. It is 2nd down and 9, closing in on the 3-minute mark in quarter number 3. Reese Miller turning the corner, and Reese Miller picks up maybe 5, could be 6. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and medium for the Wildcats. And a nice job by the Redland defense gravitating towards the ball and not allowing Reese to turn the corner.
I don't disagree. Reese has generally not made his money, if you will, outside. He's made it between the hashes.
Sideline warning against the Redland Patriots. Redland needs one of those get-back coaches that Jerry Glanville made so famous back in the day. Head coach Jamie Thomas having a conversation with the far side official, wanting to know what exactly is going on. But again, just a warning. The next time will be an actual penalty. Apple under center, following the lead block of Drake Dawson, past the first line of defenders into the second level. He's going to be just short of the line to gain. Needed 4, picked up maybe 3. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 1. Eli Phillips with the tackle.
Well, at this point, if you're the catcher, you're not taking any chances, right? You're going to run the ball. It's running the clock. This is a makeable 4th down. It's go for it territory. You're inside the 30. You're certainly not going to punt it. You're certainly not going to try a field goal. It's just a little too long. And with Stair in the backfield, you got a sophomore here like Christian Bruno playing offensive line. You got guys getting chip blocks. They're just battling it out. This is a good old-fashioned high school football game. It's fun.
Colin Stair on the belly dive. And the senior commit to Central Michigan picks up the 1st down, and he's still on his feet. Now some extracurriculars as Colin puffs up and turns to the Redland defense.
He's got to stay a little lower. There's no doubt. He's the kind of kid who, let's be honest, as an offensive lineman getting down on a linebacker, as a defensive player rushing a quarterback, he imposes his will. When you have the football, there's 2, 3, 4 guys coming at you. It's not the same. He got the 1st down, and he did impose his will in that sense in terms of gaining the yards. But you just got to keep your shoulders low, stay down, get down, and play another play.
He is living the dream. What offensive lineman wouldn't want to carry the ball? So good for him for earning his way into that position and for Coach Eckert to have the trust in him.
Absolutely.
1st down and 10, and a penalty is going to be called. It looks like against the Wildcats for a false start. Dave Harris works his exterminating skills here. There's some questionable bug in the Members First Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. He's been evicted. Wildcat fans, fall sports are here. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming cheering on our hometown teams. While athletes hit the field, let your dog be the MVP at home. Call Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming today at 717-919-6266 or stop by 16 South Market Street in Mechanicsburg. Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, where every pet looks like a champion. It's first down and 15, and Noah Apple is met in the backfield by Isaiah Ambush and pretty much the rest of the Redland defense. He's going to be tackled for a loss of 3, so not exactly what Coach Heckert and the Wildcat offense was looking for there on what was first and 15, now second and about 17.
Not what you want, but the clock keeps running, right? After second down, you're going to end the quarter. You're going to turn and go the other way. You're still going to have third down. And by and large, you're in four-down territory, especially because you got a team that, other than the first drive, has not really showed the propensity to move down the field. Last series, they had the ball starting at their own 46, couldn't pick up a first down. So you're not real worried about what they can do. You just want this clock to get to all zeros as fast as it can.
Second and 17. Cats with the ball on their own 34. Apple dropping back, now rolling to his right, looking for DeLuca in the end zone. Jack DeLuca holds it in! Touchdown, Wildcats!
Beautiful, beautiful. It's weird. I saw him looking, he sees Jack, and I don't know Jack. I've watched him play, obviously, for 3 years. But you got players who just have it. They just have the it factor. And I don't doubt that the Mechanicsburg coaches would tell you that Jack DeLuca has the it factor. He will go get the ball. We saw it down here to our right, in front, in the corner of the end zone a few weeks back. Now we see it to our left. He's just a playmaker. We've seen interceptions, diving interceptions. No moment's too big for him. Pretty exciting.
That was a beautiful ball by Noah Apple and an even prettier catch by Jack DeLuca. And the Wildcats are 1 point away from a 28-0 lead over the Redland Patriots. Tanner Minnick converts. That is the score. We're going to step out and come back right after this from our friends at Bobby Ray Hall.
At Bobby Ray Hall, it's about doing the right thing, starting with our vision that clients deserve great service at a fair price. We understand this can only happen with great team members. Doing what's right includes supporting local charities, youth sports, and first responders. It extends to the environment and why we reclaim rainwater for car washes and recycle used oil. We want to thank our loyal clients for recognizing us by voting Bobby Ray Hall simply the best of Harrisburg for 21 years in a row. Experience the Bobby Ray Hall difference and find out more at BobbyRayHall.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Noah Apple to Jack DeLuca, some 34 yards for the fourth Wildcat touchdown of the night. And Mechanicsburg has blown this one wide open. It's 28-0 with 24.6 seconds remaining in quarter number 3. It's been all Wildcats virtually from the start. And Tanner Minnick will kick off. A couple of deep men back for the Patriots, including Kason Hoffman and Logan English, although many of these Minnick kicks have been short in the area of Anthony Plever. This one, a bit of a squib. It's going to bounce. Eli Phillips will corral it. J.J. Gould makes the tackle. Also Dylan Taylor, and coming out of the pile is Calvin Collier with the special teams tackle. First down and 10 Patriots from the 41. And Dave, their last offensive drive, I think the only thing hotter in here than the heater was you, because it was just unbelievable, the play call from the Redland offensive side.
Well, I think if you're Mechanicsburg, this is what you thought should happen last time, but we had 3 turnovers, right? We had an interception, we had 2 fumbles lost. They had a punt return. We just couldn't get out of our own way, even though we had a lot of yardage, and we kept it close. This is what I think the Cats thought they could do. So if you're Redland and you're hanging in there, gosh almighty, this is what you need to do. You need to do this every time you have the ball in the second half.
Shearer's pass incomplete, intended for Sean Porter, and I've mentioned a couple of times that Bishop McDevitt awaits the winner of this one, and I wouldn't be shocked if Coach Wechter and or some of his staff were here in attendance tonight scouting. I know that in the digital age, film trade is very simple by a click of a mouse through the Huddle platform, but nothing replaces that in-person experience, and I think Coach Wechter knows this is a very different Mechanicsburg team than what his squad faced last year.
Well, and they're different too, and I don't mean that I haven't seen them, so I don't mean that in any evaluative remark. But it's high school football, right? It changes so much from year to year, and this team has a different identity.
Shearer off his back foot, a beautiful ball, and Kason Hoffman runs right under it. He hauls it in to about the 21-yard line. Tackle made by Danny Kurtz.
See, and that's my thing. Now, obviously, great throw and a great catch. Not bad coverage. You're not going to hit that play 6 times a game. You're not going to hit that play 3 times a game. But you can't wait to do it till you're down 28-0.
That's the end of the third quarter as Aiden Reed sprinted on to see some playing time, but he'll have to wait for just a moment. It's the Cats 28, Redland nothing, heading to the final 12 minutes of what could be the final home game of this 2025 season. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
The Turnbridge Group at RBC Wealth Management is a proud supporter of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics. When faced with tough business and personal financial decisions, turn to the Turnbridge Group. With a focus on retirement planning and complex financial situations, the team helps you define and achieve your goals, all while building a strong and caring relationship with you and your family. Financial advisors Tim Engel, Jonathan Stow, and Nick Hansen are available for your call. The Turnbridge Group, part of the community and for the community. Visit them online at turnbridgegroup.com or call 717-724-4225 today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field, Mike Garland, Dave Harris, we thank you for tuning in. It's the start of the fourth quarter. Redland with possession, first down and 10 from the Wildcat 21-yard line, following a beautiful pitch and catch from Quinlan Shearer to Kason Hoffman. And that pass bobbled in the air. Was it corralled and caught? Indeed it was. Anthony Plever somehow managed to hold on to it. He gains 5, second down and 5, and Redland, a fortuitous bounce there back into the hands of Plever.
Well, you catch with your eyes, not with your hands, right? When you drop a pass, it's because you take your eyes off it. When you catch a pass, it's because you kept your eyes on it. And he took a shot after he got his initial hand on it. It popped up in the air, but he kept his eyes on it and corralled that in.
Second and 5 from inside the red zone. Phillips to the right of Shearer. Shearer on the quarterback keeper, off right guard. He's going to move the pile and pick up a first down. It's going to bring up first down and goal for the Redland Patriots.
So not only is that their first completion of any depth, it's their first attempt of any depth. And watch how it loosens up the defense, right? If you're a defensive back, you were sneaking up. If you're a linebacker, you're stepping up. They're going to run. We're dropping them in the backfield. All of a sudden, they hit one of those, and it loosens things up. And now, all of a sudden, some other things open up, including that run there by Shearer. Had more room than he's had most of tonight.
First and goal, Patriots from the 9. Redland breaks the huddle. Kason Hoffman split far side right. Eli Phillips sidecar right to Quinlan Shearer, who has 3 receivers to the left. 3 seconds on the play clock. Looking for Hoffman in the end zone. There's going to be pass interference called against the Mechanicsburg Wildcats and Darius Crawford-George. It's not the first flag that DCG has garnered this year. He plays an aggressive form of defense, and that time around he got called for it.
Well, when you play the game of inches, sometimes you win by inches and sometimes you lose by inches. We were a bit of a distance from it. It was kind of close, but two officials were right there, and that's the nice thing again about the playoffs. You've got that extra official on each side down towards the back judge, and so you got eyes a little bit closer to the action, and you can feel a little bit better about those calls.
First and goal from the 5. Shearer. And that pass deflected by Ryan Foose, nearly intercepted. It was intended for Kason Hoffman. Foose got some fingers on it. If he would have been able to grab it, Dave, he would have gone the distance.
Notice, they come out first play, they throw a pass, not the completion. Then they throw the completion. It's a whole different series. Mechanicsburg didn't get bad all of a sudden. Redland didn't get great all of a sudden. But guess what? It sure as heck feels that way. So, if you're the Cats, 10:30 to go, it's not a lot of time, but Redland's on the doorstep. You can expect they're going to come out with maybe an onside if they would find a way to get a score here, and all of a sudden, the game's getting a little bit more exciting all of a sudden.
Shearer on the quarterback keeper into the end zone. Mechanicsburg's shutout streak comes to an end, though I'm not sure that's something you'd expect in the playoffs. Quinlan Shearer in from 5 yards out. Touchdown, Redland Patriots.
Yeah, just you get in a little different sequence there as a play caller. They had a little more room to work with. They got them a little bit on their heels. The defense, that is, they threw the ball twice, right? We saw the almost interception just a moment ago, but before that we had the interference, and that was on the heels of 2 passes earlier in the drive before the quarter change. So, the Redland play caller, nice series there. and they took advantage of what they thought they could take from the defense and look to get this thing back to a 3-score game here.
The extra point forthcoming off the foot of Elias Taki, and he boots it through. 10.5 remaining in the ball game. It's Mechanicsburg 28, Redland 7. Back after this from our friends at Renewed Hearing Solutions, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
I needed a change in my life. I wanted to be closer to my grandchildren. I was not hearing what the kids were saying. I fly hot air balloons and I couldn't hear leaks. It was time to take care of my hearing. As soon as I met Mary Ann at Renewed Hearing Solutions, she made me feel so comfortable. My life has improved so much since I got hearing aids. It was the best thing I've ever done. I would highly recommend Renewed Hearing Solutions.
Get back in the conversation. Call Renewed Hearing Solutions today.
Are you on the hunt for a new home? Maybe you're a growing family looking to expand your living situation, or you find your current space too large and you're simply looking to downsize. Whatever your needs, contact Charity Kastner, Realtor with RSR Realtors today. Charity knows the local real estate market and she will find the right home for you. Charity Kastner isn't just a Mechanicsburg-based realtor, she's a Mechanicsburg mom. And after all, mother knows best. Just ask her kids. Make the move today by calling Charity Kastner at 717-557-9312 or rsrrealtors.com to find your first or next home sweet home.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field, the Wildcats lead 28-7. There was an injured Wildcat on that extra point, and it was J.J. Gould. He is limping towards the trainer's table. Athletic trainer Sandy Zettelmoyer with Gould's helmet in hand. Never a good sign when the trainer has your helmet because possession is 9/10 of the law, and I'm not sure he's giving it back between now and the end of the game.
Well, we'll see. He's not giving it back till he decides it's time to give it back.
I've ruled a couple of people out this year from the broadcast booth. Again, thank God I wasn't around during, what did you say, the Revolutionary War and World War I?
Something like that.
I'd have waved the white flag of surrender. I'm probably just best suited calling football games. 28-7, although we'll be calling soccer tomorrow afternoon, so if you'd like to stumble through that 90 minutes of fun with me, I'll be at Central Dauphin Middle School, Landis Field, the Wildcats and the Manheim Township Blue Streaks in the 4A district finals. And a deep kick from Taki is going to be fielded by Ryan Foose, and Ryan Foose fumbles the ball. Redland possession.
Here we go. So you got a couple things going on. I thought they might go on sides. They didn't. Bad call on my part. But, again, the aforementioned J.J. Gould over on the training table means we don't have him back. Doesn't mean we have him back returning kicks. So we got somebody else back there, and that somebody else is not used to being back there to the same degree. Coughs up the football. Now you're setting up Redland on the 30-yard line. This game is going to get a little bit interesting here if they can do a quick strike and score here in the next 2-3 minutes. Now all of a sudden you're going to be looking at over half a quarter to go and only a 2-score game.
And I apologize for interrupting. It was just almost ironic timing as you were talking about J.J. Gould, just coming off me talking about will he get that helmet back. He did, and he was trotting towards the field looking like nary a problem. Shearer off his back foot goes to the end zone. It is incomplete, intended for Kason Hoffman, and Noah Apple swats it away. A touchdown-saving swat from Noah Apple.
Yeah, I've talked throughout the season about watching him play some defense when he got some moments in big games last year in the basketball court, and he's just a glue guy, right? He's sticky, he's close, good footwork, and boy, it came through right there. Played that clean, and yet played that aggressive.
2nd and 10, Patriots, the ball at the Mechanicsburg 30. The field is spread with Redland receivers. Option pitch goes to Jordan Hill. He's going to pick up 7, maybe 8 on that run from scrimmage, bringing up a 3rd down and short. It'll be under 10 minutes by the time Redland snaps the ball, but the Patriot offense feeling a little momentum here following the score and then subsequent turnover on the kick return.
Well, they come right out and throw that ball deep. And as again, you don't always have to complete it. You have to show the propensity or the willingness and the ability to be there, and that changes the defense.
Shearer, quarterback keeper, is going to pick up the 1st down, although just barely, as Talon Verdelli makes the tackle. Quinlan Shearer is just a big young man. Probably 6'3", 6'4", a little slender, but still over 200 pounds. And from a quarterback standpoint, that tall, lanky, athletic nature has been a key to his success.
So we're near the 9:30 mark here of the fourth quarter. It's a 3-score game. The Cats just moments ago in complete control, and now that control is getting a little precarious here. And Redland's feeling pretty good, and they're in good rhythm with their play calls.
Shearer lobs it to Jordan Hill coming out of the backfield, and Hill picks up, it looks like 9, maybe 10 on the play, depending on the spot and where he stepped out of bounds.
Kind of amazing how predictable they were, Mike. They were predictable right up to this fourth down incompletion right in front of us here a few moments back. And since then, they've been completely unpredictable, right? The Cats don't really know if it's coming up the gut, if it's going on the perimeter, if it's going to be in the air, if it's going to be on the ground.
Shearer, quarterback keeper, met by Colin Stair at the line of scrimmage. Stair makes the tackle, but not before Shearer picks up 4, and the chains are going to move. It's first and goal from about the 8.
And I don't know how much the Cats work on the option, right? When you're option, you got to stick with your responsibility. And all night long, Drake Dawson's quarterback. I think that's his responsibility. Some people will go, well, he's biting on the quarterback. He's collapsing too fast. That's his job. Defensive ends get quarterbacks. Cornerbacks or outside linebackers get the pitch man. That time, he got hung up in the middle, and he tried to go to the pitch man. Shearer pulls it down.
Fumble on the play.
Right up.
The ball is loose. Colin Stair ripped it out, and Redland will retain the possession as Ethan Schultz dove on it, but Redland lost about 13 yards on that tackle for loss and stripped by Colin Stair.
Big play. You know, if you're Redland, it's second down, right? Second down, you got to keep sticking with what's been working because it's been working. If you're the Cats, you got to regroup here a little bit quickly and stay disciplined. You got to stay disciplined.
A timeout taken by the Redland Patriots. We'll step out as well right after this from Sheets.
You back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back to live action following the Redland timeout and our special message from Sheets. By the way, if you're headed to Dillsburg anytime soon looking to get your sheets fixed, well, that one's been torn down. They are remodeling and rebuilding, so if you need your sheets fixed locally, you've got 2 convenient Mechanicsburg locations. But just editor's note there on that one. Francis coming on the backside blitz. That pass completed to Jordan Hill, and he is met near the line of scrimmage. Darn you, Dave. Anthony Francis with speed to burn. You know, the conversations we have off air sometimes I can't remember how to say Donnie Despotis' name, but I can remember kids from 5 years ago and plug them into a ball game in the blink of an eye.
I tell you what I love is the Mechanicsburg coaching staff, and that's the second time we've seen them deploy Francis coming off the edge there. And he puts a lot of pressure on that quarterback. It forces him to make a decision. He didn't force him to make a bad decision there, but he probably forced him to get rid of it quicker than he wanted to, dumped it off short, and it was well played, well defended, setting up this big third down.
So it is 3rd and goal from the 20. No doubt 4-down territory with Redland down 3 scores. Shearer takes the shotgun snap, spins the ball in his hands. That pass is completed at about the 16-yard line. Anthony Plever hauls it in. Jack DeLuca with the big stop. So 4th and goal from the 15. Of course, the Redland offense stays on the field. They need 21 to tie it up, and of course there is not a 21-point play, so before you can get 21 you need to get 7, and they're hoping to take advantage of that Wildcat turnover on the kickoff.
Nice play there by Jack, and I think that's the thing. You know, that's how you can play bend but don't break. When you got guys who you know you can count on to make the short plays, every once in a while you need somebody to make a miraculous play, but you can't count on miraculous plays, but you want to count on short plays, and Jack DeLuca just makes them.
Shearer rolling to his right, stepping up in the pocket. That pass is completed. Redland, touchdown.
That's big. There was pressure coming. I'll tell you what, I don't know if we can watch that one. If you watch it back at home, that's all on Quinlan Shearer. That's a great play. He gets out of the perimeter. He feels the pressure. He steps up inside it. He sees a receiver. He just kind of brings it down and puts it into I don't know if it was a tight window, but into one spot where his guy needed to get it, and he stretches across for the touchdown.
So all of a sudden, what was a 28-0 Mechanicsburg lead has evaporated down to 28-13, extra point pending. And, of course, Redland gets those back-to-back possessions on the fumble on the kickoff return.
Well, they didn't have to take the risk of it onsides, and they got better field position. So now I got to believe you're definitely going to get it onsides. Although unless they think they can get the same result, why would you? But I can't imagine they're thinking that. I think you're going to see it for sure. You got to get your hands team ready here, get their heads straight. And the Cats have played this well throughout the season because they've seen their share of these. But they got to take care of business, get this ball back. 6.5 to go, and they need to grind out a couple first downs to really reestablish control of this game.
Taki's extra point is up and good. The Wildcat Foundation, one of our great supporting partners of our broadcasts, hosting its 2026 Foundation Night on February 20th at Stocks Manor in Upper Allen Township. The Foundation's top annual fundraiser, this event features a Monte Carlo theme and welcomes a taste of with dining vendors including Wildcat Cafe, Healthy U Cafe, Sweet Cordelia's Cake and Bake Shop, Alcie's Ice Cream Truck, Longhorn Steakhouse, as well as Lucky Penny Burger Company and its Lavender Lemonade. Visit wildcatfoundation.org to learn more. Sounds delicious, so make your plans today. Redland with their kickoff team on the field here at Memorial Park. And do we see an onside kick from Elias Taki? Mechanicsburg with its hands team on the field, positioned at the 49-yard line.
Certainly have 6 up front here for the Cats, 4 right behind them, a couple yards, and one man deep.
And J.J. Gould is back on the field. He is the deep man, and he's going to take that little pooch kickoff at the 21-yard line. And Gould met by a trio of Redland defenders at the 24. But most important was, Dave, he held on to the football. Redland has just one timeout remaining. Remember, they took the shape up or ship out timeout early in the third quarter.
Well, it was well taken. Now, that didn't stop us, I think, from scoring, if I'm not mistaken, on the drive, because we've had 3 straight scoring possessions. Mechanicsburg on a touchdown pass to get to 28-0, and then Redland with a run to get to 28-7, followed by the turnover on the kickoff, and then taking it back in, where they ran off better part of 6 minutes to get this thing to 28-14. But the Cats have the ball. They obviously have the timeout advantage, and there's only 6.5 left. But that means you take care of the football, and you really want to get 2 or 3 first downs here in the next couple minutes and start to put the nail on this thing.
It is a running play on first down, but the Redland defense stands tall as Ambush comes out of the pile, pumping his chest after tackling Reese Miller. No gain on the play.
Well, where I'm okay with that is, as much as we've been a run-first team throughout the season, we've talked, obviously, about Reese Miller's statistics. We've certainly talked about what Noah Apple can do, and I think we will see a steady diet of run. You want to keep that clock moving. It has been your bread and butter, but we've shown tonight, as well as throughout the season, we're not afraid to throw the ball. And I think we trust Noah Apple, and we trust Jack DeLuca, and we trust some of the other guys we have to make something happen.
2nd down and 10. Miller turning the corner, following a lead block from Drake Dawson. He gains 3, so it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. I'm not as confident to say this is 4-down territory, but what's most important for the Wildcats is to move the chains, pick up the first down, and keep that clock running.
Well, nice play there by Reese. Again, it's interesting. They've gone outside, whereas throughout the season, I won't say so much the night, although they had a couple tonight. Throughout the season, Reese's money has been between the tackles, not so much outside the end. The good news is he stayed in bounds. The worst thing he could have done was kind of run that out of bounds and stop that clock. So that clock is moving. I agree with you, Mike. I'm not sure it's I don't think it's a 4-down territory. You're up 2 scores.
A timeout has been called by the Wildcats. Head coach Dave Heckert's going to talk this one over. This is a big 3rd down and 6 for his Wildcat offense. 5:03 remaining in the ball game. 28-14 Cats lead. Back in a moment, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Snappers Bar and Grill at 120 East Allen Street in Mechanicsburg is proud to support Wildcat Athletics. Snappers is open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. and offers outstanding service and exceptional food and drink options, all at a fair price. Stop in for fresh seafood, delicious hand-cut steaks, and homemade pasta dishes. Snappers also offers a variety of sandwiches, fresh, crisp salads, and awesome appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or have your next big gathering catered. Snappers Bar and Grill, call 717-697-9475 to learn more.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Following the Wildcats' first timeout of the second half, they'll have the ball 3rd down and 6 on their own 29-yard line. A very big down and distance play for Coach Heckert's offense, which has been struggling here over the last couple of plays against Redland. Of course, the Patriots had back-to-back possessions as well. It is a passing down. Noah Apple, all kinds of real estate to run. Pick up the first down into the second level, and he goes. He's at the 30, the 20, and a late flag coming in behind the play may negate this one, but we shall see. Colin Stair and Isaiah Ambush were having words as the flag flew in, and Coach Heckert is giving Colin Stair the what to. But what a run by Noah Apple.
Well, we talk about he's going to decline it. He already asked, so no.
It is against Redland.
And Colin knew he drew the foul. He knew he didn't do anything. I can't say I saw it, but right away I watched the body language of everybody.
Now, the referee,
he pointed
Jim
the wrong
Kemp,
way. He pointed the wrong way.
And his cohort on the near sideline quickly came in to correct him. And look, by saying Colin's name, I wasn't trying to call him out in any way other than he and Isaiah Ambush were the two jawing. And I think what you saw was...
It wasn't jawing, no. There was something before it.
It was an emphatic to Colin Stair.
There was something before it.
Yeah. He is the leader of this team. He is emotional.
But let's come back to the play call because we just got done saying it. Right, it's a run-first team. You want to run the clock, but you don't count something out against the play calling here. And they loaded up, and they got everybody loaded up, and it was a great. You gotta design the play, you gotta call the play, and then you gotta execute the play. And all three phases happened.
You've got head coach Jamie Thomas out on the far side hash near the 45, having a conversation with referee Jim Kemp. And we saw Coach Faust draw an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty last week, and Coach Thomas ought to be careful that doesn't happen again. But by the way, the longest run of the season for Noah Apple, his second longest play from scrimmage. He had a 74-yard touchdown pass earlier in the game. And the penalty, by the way, against Isaiah Ambush, some clarification now, it's going to be enforced on the kickoff. So Mechanicsburg will kick off near midfield. In fact, they'll kick off in plus territory, the opposite side 45. After a 71-yard touchdown run by Noah Apple, the extra point kick is up and good. Mechanicsburg 35, Redland 14. Cats are 4 minutes and 50 seconds away from moving on to a date with Bishop McDevitt next week. Back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Back at Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field. And following that penalty against Isaiah Ambush, the Cats will kick off at the Redland 45-yard line. Central Dauphin leading Cumberland Valley 7-6 with just seconds remaining at Chapman Field in what would I suspect be an upset in the 6A bracket. As Tanner Minnick readies to kick, but the ball falls off the tee, so they'll get another opportunity. It's been very windy and gusty here all evening long. It's become a beautiful fall day. I wouldn't say it's overly cold. It is very much fall-like. This weather has been darn near perfect today.
It's been of course, I went out at halftime, Mike, and it's a little breezy out there. It seems a little chilly in the stands, but it's beautiful in here.
Just had a leaf blow into the box. It's very scenic. Like me some fall foliage.
But it is. It's nice and crisp. It's what you call good football weather. There's no doubt about it.
A touchback for Tanner Minnick. One of his first of the year. And the ball kid, Julia Pahanic, out to pick up, in this case, the tee. It's been a fun gig for her all season long, and she gets to hang out on the sideline with Dad throughout the game. Little fist bump action to Chucky Luckenball down there, one of Mechanicsburg's biggest supporters and fans. I don't know where Chucky's headed tomorrow. Is he going to come here for field hockey, or is he going to go to Central Dauphin for soccer?
That's a good question. I'm going to guess he's going to be here for field hockey.
It's a much shorter commute under that scenario. 35-14, Redland will have the ball on their own 20-yard line. Quinlan Shearer in the shotgun formation. Stepping up in the pocket. Coming near side left, Colin McConaughey hauls it in, and Jack DeLuca will take him out of bounds and is going to draw maybe a ticky-tack late hit penalty. I'm not sure that there was any intent behind that. We'll look at it one more time.
Yeah, I don't love it, but when you're an official 10 yards down the field and you see it a step out of the white, you think it was unnecessary, and it's a hard one to argue.
Everyone involved in the play was standing when they got into the white, and then the act of tackle took place. Right. So, yeah, again, it wasn't egregious, likely wasn't intended either, but to your comment about action taking place in the white stripe area, yep. It's one of those ones you've got to call.
Well, and it was a nice throw there by Shearer. There's no doubt. That play is much more significant if he scores 28-14, right, than it is at 35-14 with 4:41 to go. But he stepped up and threw that way across his body, which is generally a no-no. You don't throw across your body late to the other side. He threw to the other side, but he did complete it, and he drew the penalty, and now that sets them up.
Anthony Plever in motion. Shearer off his back foot looking near side. McConaughey, the pass is incomplete. And a nice job on coverage by J.J. Gould, who I ruled out earlier and has triumphantly returned. And on the carpet is a Redland player.
Mike, I'm going to guess you don't spend a lot of money on lottery.
None whatsoever.
Probably really good decision.
I mean, I understand that you can't win if you don't play, but since I also don't win when I play, I just try to save the money for snacks.
I was just going based on your prognostication there, on things. So
no, I'm not real good at those kind of things. The best I think I've ever done was I won a few bucks at the dog track one time for my birthday way back when.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I'm in no position to brag either. I don't. So it's nothing personal there. But
it's okay. I'm pretty good at diagnosing. Let's say when a young man has a cramp, right? Okay, all right. But I usually wait until his teammates start stretching him out because I feel like if the recovery process involves your own teammate instead of, let's say, medical professionals, it's probably a cramp.
Yeah, I think that's a fair guess. I think a fair call there.
4:36 remaining in this ball game as the downed Patriot player now in a more vertical position, and that was Colin McConaughey, the intended receiver. He went down to the carpet hard, but not sure if it was the impact to the field itself or something in between, but he is being helped off the field. He is moving under his own power, albeit at reduced speed. You've been going back, Dave, kind of scrolling that broadcast to try to see on that previous touchdown between Ambush and DeLuca. Did you find anything?
I'm finally getting there. It's taking me a while.
Okay, well, we'll rejoin your thought process already in progress in just a few moments.
Right.
Want to again wish luck tomorrow to the field hockey and soccer teams playing in their respective district championship games, to our cross-country runners running in states at Hershey, and to the Mechanicsburg Marching Band competing in what is branded as the Pennsylvania State Championships in the Group 5 Open category at Downingtown West High School. One of, I believe, 6 teams competing in that Group 5 Open category. So good luck to the Maroon Machine and all of our athletes tomorrow. 2nd down and 10 as McConaughey is off the field. Wide receiver screen. That's Kason Hoffman. Hoffman working off a block on the far side. Gets past Jack DeLuca, who is down and in pain. Jack DeLuca at the 40-yard line, writhing in pain. Elias Crawford-George with the tackle.
You don't want to see anybody get hurt, obviously, on either side of the ball at any point in the game, but especially this late in a game that's now 3 scores, knowing what you have coming next week. Jack's a tough kid, but he's taken some lumps this season, unfortunately.
He's had a great game as well. We're going to take this opportunity to step out real quick as well. Right after this from Seth Gardner State Farm.
The State Farm Personal Price Plan helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Contact local agent Seth Gardner for your personal price plan today.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Jack DeLuca helped up and walking off the field. So based on his initial reactions when he was down, it's great to see him walking off in the manner that he is. And Wildcat Athletics would like to recognize the Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department for their continued support of our web streams. With the Recreation Department in Mechanicsburg, you can immerse yourself in a world of excitement and discovery. All the things you love, Dave. Creative crafts, dance, fitness opportunities, family fun, something for everybody. Don't miss out. Visit mbgsd.org. Click on the Recreation tab to learn more or stop by their office at the Trails and Trees Environmental Center. First down and 10 for the Patriots. They have the ball at the Mechanicsburg 28-yard line. Shearer going deep into the end zone, has a man. It is incomplete. It was actually caught by Danny Kurtz, but he was out of the end zone. Looks like Kason Hoffman was the intended receiver.
You know, we've just seen a different offense out of Redland here, and I don't mean, obviously, that play was an incompletion and almost an interception by definition, but just a different offense that came out. And, yeah, they had some penalties. Yeah, there was a turnover that set up a short field, but, you know, and it's not atypical in high school football, right? You know, defense, special teams, and offense is kind of how high school football in Pennsylvania has been coached and run for many, many years, and almost exclusively up through the 1980s. Very few people putting the ball in the air. Certainly not the norm anymore, but amazing that once Redland opened it up a little bit, it just was a different kind of game here for basically the last quarter here.
A false start penalty called against the Redland Patriots. And it's going to bring up a second down and 15.
You know, I mean, this game was 28-0 at the 4:17 mark of the third quarter, and it's 35-14. So, again, 14-7 Redland in that ensuing 12-minute span. You know, that's not to take anything away from the Cats. I think what I'm trying to do is, you know, here they got four receivers. They apparently got a lot of things in their package, and they got a quarterback who's got a presence. You just got to let him go.
Shearer's pass is intended for Kason Hoffman, and Darius Crawford-George will be called for, if not pass interference, defensive holding.
Yeah, I don't know what he did. He sure looked like he held him at about the 8-yard mark. He hasn't reacted to all his penalties that way. I sense he's the kind of kid who understands, I'm going to play sticky, I'm going to play close, and a lot are going to go my way and some aren't, and he gets it. And I appreciate that. That one, he didn't act that way, and that says to me that either he thought he could get away with it or maybe he didn't do it. It was hard to tell there at the last moment.
Pass interference is the call against Darius Crawford-George. That's going to give Redland a first down, but DCG has been one of the top secondary men for Coach Heckard all season long, and sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. And in this case, I guess he was a little nuts.
Yeah, he's been so much fun to watch. It'll be exciting to see what he can do next week. There's no doubt they're going to be challenged. In a lot of ways, they haven't been challenged throughout the season when they get to that point. But I'll be excited to see what he brings to the table.
Shearer sacked. Drake Dawson, Collins Stair. One of the best duos around since Laurel and Hardy.
You know, I think what's surprising to me about that is, as much as I've been this proponent of Redland throwing the ball, and they have been throwing the ball, it hasn't yielded this relentless pass rush, right? You know, pass rush sometimes is about technique. Sometimes it's around down and distance, but other times it's around game situation. And when the score is 3 scores with 4 minutes to go, you don't worry as much about your run responsibilities. You don't worry much about gap integrity. You just pin your ears back and you go. And we saw the result of it there.
Laurel and Hardy haven't been relevant for about 80 years, and I just made a pretty dated reference there. But
you did. I like Laurel and Hardy, but I don't know
if anyone else knows who they are.
Well, what impact it had on them at this point in the evening. You know.
Timeout on the field, the final one called by Redland. The Cats with just 2 remaining, and it's going to be a second down and 15 for the Patriots. So I think it's fair to start looking ahead. I mean, certainly this one isn't over yet, but fair to start looking forward to the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders in what is a second-round matchup next week. Remember that those 2 teams met last year in round 3 by way of a first-round bye for the Cats, and McDevitt played their way into that competition. So McDevitt is 8-2 overall. They lost to Harrisburg. They lost to a team from Canada, but they seem to be clicking on all cylinders, as if you'd expect them to be doing anything otherwise. That pass is incomplete, Anthony Plever. And I know at the beginning of the year there were some questions about what the quarterback situation was going to look like for McDevitt. Of course, they had their top star graduate, go on to Kentucky, and they next man up, next man in, whatever district he came from, into the McDevitt roster, and he has been getting the job done.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they've been getting the players. It's been a strong program, right? Obviously, we all know back to the 80s with Ricky Waters and Sean Borowski and James Bryant. We've heard the stories.
Nelson.
I mean, that was one team right there. Those three guys are on one team, all Division One. And then, you got all the other names that, we know up to
Sean
Shady
McCoy
and Rakai. Right. So, great program.
2 flags on that play. You're going to have probably a hold and then an unsportsmanlike conduct. The hold likely against Redland. Not sure who the unsportsmanlike conduct will go against. But, the thing is, we can make our comments, boundary schools, non-boundary schools. Now a third penalty, this one possibly against the Redland bench. But, we can make the comments, boundary versus non-boundary. At the end of the day, Coach Wechter still has to coach those young men. He has to bring young men together who come from different school districts who, they certainly walk the halls together in Bishop McDevitt. They wear the same school uniforms day in and day out, but they all come from different walks of life and different communities. And he has to coach those young men into the top-notch players that they are.
The rules exist as they are, whether you agree with them or don't agree with them, whether you like them or don't. They are what they are. And at the end of the day, let's not kid ourselves. There's going to be 6 state champions in the state of Pennsylvania, and they're all going to be pretty darn awesome. And there's going to be 6 guys who lose, 6 teams that lose on that day, and they're going to be pretty darn awesome. You can. I'm as passionate about what I feel is a disadvantage for boundary schools versus the others. But at the end of the day, they're in our classification. They're on the schedule, as the saying goes. Just like an 0-9 team was on the schedule, or a 1-9 team was on the schedule, or 2 1-9 teams. You play them too. You got to play this team, and let the other stuff take care of itself. It's not our business. You get out there, and as a player, there's something cool to say. I played against that kid. If you do see him playing on Saturdays on ESPN, or you see him playing on Sundays in the NFL, there's something fun about that.
Absolutely. And Stone Saunders did a lot last year. He's at Kentucky now. So these kids can turn that TV on, and maybe they see him on the sideline. But the same can be said last year for kids that played against Josh Smith, who might turn a Princeton game on and see him on the sideline, maybe on the field sometime in the near future.
You got Tyree Morris playing at Utah State right now, who was on our 2020 team that won the Keystone, right?
Right.
So, no. You let's be honest. Kids are kids. It's the adults, and I'm one of them who kind of belly aches and whines. Kids want to play the best, and they want to beat the best.
Absolutely.
Right? And so, no. It's going to be a fun week next week.
So here comes the official call after all the fireworks. Let's see if we can hear it.
Personal foul, number 61 White. We have unsportsmanlike on the head coach.
So if you got all of that, a pair of penalties called against Jake Owen. I believe there was a block in the back. There was an unsportsmanlike conduct. And then Jamie Thomas, the coach of the Patriots, drew a 15-yard penalty himself. So, he could be an emotional man on the sidelines, and this time around it's going to cost his team some yardage.
Well, I don't want to try to justify anything. I think we had a little sloppiness over on that sideline when they played here last time. Last week we saw it from the team. Kids take on their coach's identity, right? We saw Colin Stair draw a personal foul, and what did the coach do? He got in his kid's face and said, get away, back off, don't create problems, right? You either hold your kids accountable or you make excuses for them. Coach Eckert holds them accountable, and we don't see those kind of penalties with regularity, right? There are exceptions, but not with regularity. Kids take on their coach's identity for better and for worse sometimes.
So about 30 yards in penalties will be tacked on to the end of this play because the 2 that are going to be marched off are dead ball. So at a time when you have no timeouts, at a time when you're down now 3 scores and you need every minute and every opportunity possible, you're going to have the ball 4th down, and about Carlisle from even picking up a first down.
Well, if you're the officials, you're just trying to keep control of this. If you're Coach Heckard, you don't want your kids getting drawn into it. You don't want to say or do or act in any stupid way. And let's be honest, it was one player. It was one coach. There's a whole team over there of kids who are doing the right thing the right way. You just want to try to keep it clean and not let it become something that hasn't been all night.
So 4th and 42, and another flag coming against the Patriots as Shearer bombs this one deep. It was intended for Colin McConaughey. With that incomplete pass, you decline it, but, I mean, in theory, it could be 4th and 47 or 50.
They can't block Collins there. They can't block him.
I mean, you back him up. If this is another hold, that's 10 yards. It legitimately could be 4th and 52 if they wanted to take that penalty. But obviously you decline it, and you just work to get the last 3 minutes and 44 seconds off the clock.
Absolutely. And it's a team, frustrations come out. I wouldn't know their coach if I walked into the bathroom after the game and he was there, right? I don't know him. They start 5-0. They haven't been 5-0 in a long time. They haven't been in the playoffs, right? What'd you say, since 2014, right? They've had a good year, but they start 5-0, and I think they envisioned a little more than where they finished, and you just get frustrated, right? You win 5 straight, and then you go 2-4 to finish out. That's hard. And it's hard to compartmentalize. It's hard to take it. And they're building something special there, and you hope they can kind of keep it together and then go forward the right way.
And we've talked about Bishop McDevitt. Jamie Thomas went to Bishop McDevitt before going on to, I believe, the University of Maryland, and then for a couple of years in the NFL as Grady Weaver runs on first down, picks up a yard. Shippensburg and Warwick is a final. And the Warwick Warriors will move on, a 23-7 victor over the Shippensburg Greyhounds. So Warwick will play Solanco next Friday at Solanco High School. I don't have any other score updates from around our bracket. I do know that Central Dauphin defeated Cumberland Valley 7-6 on what appears to be a late touchdown with virtually no time left.
So the clock continues to move. 2nd and 9. Again, if you're the Cats, you're going to keep it on the ground. No timeouts left for Redland, so you're going to run. I would think run. You're right. You're not trying to run this score up. You respect your opponent. You'll take a touchdown if it's earned, but you're not going to try to do anything with trickery. They want to keep him inbound, so that stops the clock, which until at least they get it reset, which I'm sure Coach Ecker would like to see that ball stay between the tackles.
Grady Weaver has the carry, goes out of bounds. It is now 3rd down for the Wildcats. We're going to try to look and see if we can find the Lower Dauphin Exeter Township score. But regardless, we know that Warwick moves on to play Solanco. Mechanicsburg is going to move on and play Bishop McDevitt. The last post on the LD Athletics X/Twitter page was a couple of days ago, so no update on their football game as of yet.
Way back in the first quarter, huh?
Way back in the first week of October. 3rd down and 5, the pitch to Grady Weaver following a block from Drake Dawson, and he is going to be bulldogged down.
Well, some of that
and he is going to get flagged for spiking the ball. He didn't like the way he was tackled. His head was twisted. His body got twisted.
But I think he's trying to stay in bounds, which is what led to that tackle, which is what he needs to do.
So they call the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Grady.
You can't do that.
Against Grady Weaver for the spike, and it's going to back the Cats up 15 yards. 35-0 Exeter over Lower Dauphin. That might explain why there wasn't.
And I think some of it seems to be connected to what I'll say is an injury, right? Like you're frustrated, it's pain, it's
ouch, darn it.
Right? I get it, but you just can't do it. They're going to call that.
So 4th down and 20+. The Cats may punt this one away for the first time tonight. And standing back to return this kick is Kason Hoffman. So Apple in his longer than normal shotgun formation, but shorter than standard punt. The Cats are going to run this clock down. There's at least 20 seconds of the play clock, so they'll do everything they can to run it down to darn near 0 and maybe burn a timeout. Although now the game clock just started. Not sure about that. If the play clock was running. But maybe because that was a dead ball penalty. Anyways, Apple punts it away. It's going to be fielded by Kason Hoffman, who fumbles it. The ball is loose. And Redland will fall on it. Colin McConaughey, as Hoffman couldn't corral it, but McConaughey was able to outrun Anthony LaRock to the loose rock First down and 10, Redland.
Yeah, I think that was Anthony Francis. That was a great play, good timing. I was hoping they weren't going to throw a flag because that ball actually had glanced off the defender, or the returner, before the defensive player hit him, but he was bearing down on him. So very well played there by the Cats.
First down and 10 for Redland. As the home team fans starting to head towards the exit, the same can be said for the visitors. There's not quite a line of brake lights yet leaving Memorial Park, but I expect it soon.
Yeah, a little bit less of a crowd for a playoff game than I would have thought. I know the temperatures dropped a little bit, and that changes some things, but
Shearer with the pass. It is incomplete, intended for Sean Porter. And I mentioned a couple of minutes back, what seems like forever ago, this is more than likely the final home football game of the season. Yes, there is a path where the Cats could come back and host a game in maybe the third round, but the reality of it is, as a 6 seed, you'd need a couple of upsets to happen above you for the bracket to come back around to your home field. So it's been a pretty exciting home campaign. It all started here at the stadium on September 5th. There were 2 road games at Carlisle, then against Palmyra at Northern Lebanon. So that first home game was September 5th against Mifflin County. And can we believe that the next time we play football after this, Dave, it'll not only be on the road, but it'll be in the month of November?
Well, football's meant to be played in the month of November. I know because of playoffs, there's not always a lot of high school teams that get to play in the month of November anymore. Back District 1, as I talk about from time to time, Penn Ridge, my alma mater, playing tonight as the 1 seed in the District 1 6A playoffs. But should they lose in the next 3 weeks, they will play on Thanksgiving Day against Quakertown, who is out of the playoffs, so they're going to practice for the next 3 weeks for a Thanksgiving football game. So that's still a big deal in Eastern Pennsylvania, not nearly as big in the rest of the state anymore.
I know Easton and Phillipsburg have had that long-time rivalry. You mentioned Eastern PA teams, Phillipsburg, New Jersey, Easton, PA. Third down and 10. Shearer looking for Kaysen Hoffman. Hoffman catches it. That's a beautiful catch from Kaysen Hoffman. We'll take a look at it one more time.
Yeah, and a great throw, right? We've talked about Shearer. We talked about him at the beginning of the first time we played him, and I don't want to say we were underwhelmed. That's not fair to the young man, but obviously the results just weren't there. Tonight in the second half, when he's been given the chance, I think the results have been there. That's the second deep ball down the left side, right? He's a right-handed quarterback, so he's getting that ball. He's setting his feet, and he likes that sideline on the left side. He had one in the third quarter over there to about the 20-yard line, and now he has this one on this side.
First down and 10, in plus territory. The Patriots with the ball at the Mechanicsburg 35. Shearer, flat-footed, throws a dart, and that pass is incomplete.
Yeah, well thrown. I don't want to say it was an easy catch because it sure as heck was not. It was, you could argue, maybe catchable. It seemed like it was a little bit on his back shoulder, but he threaded the needle there. There was some defense there, but credit, he's an impressive quarterback. I'm not sure where he's headed, what he's doing next year, but with his size, his athleticism, his arm, I know he's not overwhelmed statistically with his senior year, but again, it's a team that he's helped take to the cusp of a division title, which they didn't quite reach, and into the district playoffs, where they haven't been for 12 seasons. So he's a player, he's a gamer, and I hope he gets to continue his career if that's what he wishes to do.
We'll take a look at the next round brackets coming up in just a moment and what the second round will look like. A delay of game penalty, so this seems like a good time to do so. So we know Mechanicsburg is going to advance. They'll play at Bishop McDevitt next Friday. It'll be the 6-seed Wildcats, the 3-seed Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. Exeter Eagles advance over Lower Dolphins, so the next round, the 2-seeded Conestoga Valley squad against the Exeter Eagles. Warwick takes down Shippensburg, so it'll be 5-seed Warwick, 4-seed Solenko, and Spring Grove 35-0 over Muhlenberg. So it'll be Spring Grove and New Oxford. That's what the next round will look like. Shearer rolling to his right, bombs it deep towards the end zone. The pass is incomplete. Danny Kurtz and Sean Porter with some hand wrestling there. And it's an incomplete pass. Third down and 15.
Yeah, they have these two cracks. Of course, they don't have timeouts. 1:23 left, or 83 seconds, and they're going to take. I don't know. They have to go to the end zone both of these plays, but you want to get this ball down the field. A first down helps, but the reality is you need 3 scores. So you'd really like to go to the end zone twice and get a score, or you don't get a score and let Penn State or Penn State, listen to me. I'm getting ready for tomorrow.
Oh, you think? I like
Mechanicsburg kneel on it.
I like that you think they're going to.
Oh, they're going to be kneeling on it late in the game tomorrow.
Ohio State is, you think?
No,
okay.
No, Penn State. You heard it here first.
Sean Porter.
You heard it here first.
Hauls that one in as Drew Freeland makes the tackle. Hey, Coach Eckert's going to have himself a busy couple of weeks with football, and wrestling is right around the corner. And Wrestling Boosters have an event coming up November 8th. You're going to be able to mini golf through the middle school. Your support benefits the young men and women who compete on the mat each winter. $60 per foursome. A couple of different flight times available throughout the day. Each flight eligible for prizes, too. Pick your captain. Scan that QR code. Get involved. Don't delay. Registration is open until noon on November 7th or whenever all the slots fill up. So I'll leave that QR code up for a few moments as Quinlan Shearer will carry the ball and the pile inside the 15-yard line. Darius Crawford-George in on the tackle. I believe, J.J. Gould at the bottom of that pile. Check that. That is Danny Kurtz at the bottom of the pile. Landon Yale. And a minute to go in this opening round game.
Yeah, always exciting to host a playoff game. It's something that's been, of course, back in the day when there were only 4 teams in all classifications that got to go to the playoffs, they were all neutral sites. They've been home for quite a while, a higher seed playing at home for a good 15 years. Always exciting to get a home game, excited to be in the playoffs, and even bigger to get the win, right? So you don't want to take these things for granted. Although I'm not going to lie, it's getting a little easy around Mechanicsburg to almost take these things for granted, right? We've watched this girls soccer team repeatedly advance well into districts, to a number of district finals and into states. We've seen it with field hockey, including a state championship. Our boys soccer team, we're seeing them getting there. We routinely have cross-country runners in the state meet over at Hershey. Always a fun day to go watch them. Certainly don't want to overlook golf and overlook tennis. So from an athletic perspective, it's really been a pretty impressive 5, 6, 7 year run here, and it's the new norm, Mike. And I say you don't want to take it for granted, but it is the new expectation. Getting in the playoffs doesn't have the same sound it used to. It's almost an expectation, and that's a great thing.
Quinlan Shearer battling towards the end zone. He's going to be tackled at about the 2. And a whistle will stop the clock.
I missed volleyball, too, by the way, in there, Mike. I'm
yes.
sorry, and they've been playoffs the last couple of years in a really good season this year. So once you start naming things, you get in trouble when you leave something out.
Right?
So I think I got them all. I apologize if I did not, but source of great pride for the school, for the community, obviously most importantly for the student body, because that's what it's about.
See, I take the forget everything, so I can't just forget one thing approach as Shearer into the end zone with 6.3 seconds remaining. Touchdown, Redland Patriots. Too little too late, though, for the Patriots, although, to their credit, 21 points against this Wildcat team is the most since Lower Dauphin put up 22 in that ill-fated Week 4 loss.
Well, it came with opening it up, right? They threw the deep ball, and they completed one on this drive that led to a score. They completed one earlier. Obviously, the turnover that the Cats had on the kickoff return was huge. Otherwise, this thing might be 35-0 at this point. I'm not going to lie to you, but so you can't do that. I'm sure Coach Eckert's going to work on that. We can't put the ball on the carpet next week and every week going forward, not just next week, every week going forward, whether we're playing McDevitt or whether we're playing Exeter or whether we're playing Conestoga Valley or whoever we're playing. Each week, every little thing gets magnified that much more.
The extra point kick is up and good. 6.3 seconds left, 35-21 Mechanicsburg back in 30 seconds.
With True Green, we got a great price on a golf course quality lawn.
Which attracted golfers.
Morning.
Who needs a warm-up?
And because True Green's doing the work, we get to have more fun.
Please don't post that.
Too late.
They don't have grass this thick in Australia.
That's what happens when you have a great lawn.
Shanked it again, huh? They're fun to have around.
PGA Tour quality lawns for as little as $1 a day.
Where are we playing next?
Get started at TrueGreen.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
At Memorial Park, John H. Frederick Field, Mike Garland and Dave Harris will have our 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game recognition coming up about 60 seconds or so after the conclusion of this game. Mechanicsburg on their way to their second-round playoff game in as many years as Taki chips it deep, and J.J. Gould caught it. No fair catch, but certainly took his time to allow a few seconds off the clock as Mechanicsburg will come out for one offensive snap, victory formation, if you will, en route to win number 10 on the year and another playoff victory in as many seasons as well. Coach Heckert's got to be excited about what these young men have been able to do. I know he deflects a lot of the credit. He's got a great coaching staff that he relies on and a great group of young men. But when he was selected as the head coach last year to take over from Anthony Rose, it shot a new boost of life into these young men, and we've seen it over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's obviously a name that's been around this community for a lot of years. His father, his uncles having success, on the athletic fields, and Davey having a very decorated career over at Cumberland Valley, then at Villanova, and actually finishing up at Penn State. He obviously brings a presence to the program. And it's not just that, right? It's all the pieces. He's put together a great coaching staff. It's about getting numbers out, right? It's about taking care of business. It's not college. It's not the NFL. It's far from it. But there's a lot of pieces that go into it. It's not just, okay, we got 2 good kids and we can go out and win some games very easily on Friday night. We got to build a culture, and we got to build a program, and we got to learn how to respond when things aren't good, and we got to learn how to keep it going when things are good, including from season to season.
It is a final. Mechanicsburg victorious 35-21. They advance to the second round of the District 3 5A tournament. And a date with the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders on the horizon next Friday at Rocco Hortensio Stadium. We're going to take a break, come back in 60 seconds, and recognize our 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game. We'll be right back after this, live on Go Mechanicsburg.
A deck where memories are made, barbecues are grilled, and sunsets are savored. But let's face it, not all decks are created equal. Enter Westshire Decks. We're not your average deck builders. Precision is our mantra. We don't just build decks, we craft outdoor living spaces tailored to your dreams. With Westshire Decks, you get seasoned experts who know decks inside and out. So why settle for a deck that's just okay when you can have one that's extraordinary? Westshire Decks, where craftsmanship meets creativity. Give us a call today and come see how we are different.
Wolf Brewing Company, located in Legacy Park, just off South Market Street in Mechanicsburg, offers a family and pet-friendly atmosphere for community members of all ages. Family owned by Wildcat graduates, Wolf Brewing Company serves up delectable dishes including comfort foods with a gourmet twist, plus drinks of all types for the community, from the community. Roll in before, during, or after the game for their laid-back ambiance, live music, trivia, and more. Wolf Brewing Company, 100 Legacy Park Drive, Suite 400, or online at wolfbrewingco.com.
Getting you back to Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics, presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Live on Go Mechanicsburg.
Mechanicsburg victorious 35-21 over the Redland Patriots. I'm not sure the score is as close as the game would tell you, or the other way around. The game would tell you that the score is not as close as what happened, or whatever I'm trying to say. You get the point.
Yeah, it's one of those things you see on Friday Night Football tonight, and you go, it must have been a pretty good game. And not that it wasn't a good game, but it was not a close game. Cats really had their way, and really were on the verge. They were up 28-0 and on the verge of even maybe going up 35-0 when they fumbled that kickoff. And credit to Redland, though. Stuck around, hung around. They're building something there. If they can kind of get everybody rowing in the same direction, if they can, figure a few things out. A lot of freshmen on that roster, sophomores on that roster that we looked at tonight. So, should be some good games coming in the future there.
Our 11 Oaks Farms Player of the Game is who we will recognize right now, and it's a name we've said a couple of times this year, once on offense and once on defense, and I think now it's because of all the things. All the things. That's Noah Apple.
Yeah, what a night he had. It's hard not to remember that touchdown that really broke the game open, right, which was a great play call, but excellent execution, and watch his speed go. But we also saw him throw a beautiful dime to Jack DeLuca in the end zone for a touchdown. And then we saw him on some deep coverage at a point when Redland was trying to get back in the game with a nice coverage over there, a nice break up in the corner of the end zone. So he does so much. He does so much for this team. And, I only know him a little bit, but when you see his character, and you don't doubt he's a leader in the locker room, he's a leader in the huddle, he's a leader on the sideline. And that sometimes you and I don't know that. We only know what happens between the lines and when we see the results. But there's other sides of these guys, and Noah's got got some real upside.
Well, and I've had a couple of interactions with him. You know, I don't make a point. I don't work in the school on a day-to-day basis, so I don't make a point to engage with or talk to the high school kids too much while they're still in high school. You know, I've talked to Josh Smith a lot since he graduated. Colin Stair has taken it upon himself to come talk to me a few times, so I'll engage in a conversation there. But 2 different times this fall. Once I was at Chick-fil-A. Noah Apple came up and said hi to me, and I was with one of my daughters. I appreciate that. And another time we were broadcasting soccer, and I don't remember if it was boys or girls soccer at Northside, but I was tearing down, and a lot of times some of these games I'm doing it by myself. And Noah walked up with a couple of the other kids from the football team and asked if I needed any help to take anything down, if not to my car, but at least to the lower level. And I appreciate that. And I made a point to text Coach Heckert and tell him that as well. Yeah. So it's great. You talked earlier about how kids are a reflection of their coach.
Yeah, they are. Obviously, ultimately, they're parents, but when we're talking about a team and a program, it is of their coach. And, yeah, Coach Heckert, I think, expects nothing less from all his guys. And I think, generally speaking, I would hope that's what the school community and the community at large see from them.
So congratulations to Noah Apple and the Mechanicsburg Wildcats for the playoff win. The Cats improved to 10-1 overall. Redlands season concludes at 7-4. The Cats traveling to Harrisburg next week to face Bishop McDevitt, and Dave and I will have the call. Pregame starting right around 6 o'clock. We'll hear from somebody attached to the Wildcat Foundation. We'll check in with Coach Heckert as part of Coach's Corner. If there is a weekly Wildcat scoreboard to give you, we will share it along because district championships are tomorrow for soccer and field hockey. Then the first round of states are Tuesday.
Yes.
Soccer and field hockey will compete, so depending on what happens with them on Tuesday, well, maybe they'll play again on Saturday. But regardless, fans, we thank you for tuning in tonight. Nearly 4,000 of you checking out tonight's broadcast. And it's all been live on Go Mechanicsburg and presented by our friends at 11 Oaks Farms in Newville. Have a good night, fans.
This has been a presentation of Mechanicsburg Wildcat Athletics live on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. Wildcat Athletics live on YouTube is presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville, Bobby Ray Hall Automotive Group, Charity Kastner RSR Realtors, Your Neighborhood Chick-fil-A at Shepherdstown Crossing, Lawnscapes Inc., Members First Federal Credit Union, Operation Wildcat, OSS Health, now with 2 locations on the West Shore, Mechanicsburg Area Recreation Department, RBC Wealth Management and the Turnbridge Group, Renewed Hearing Solutions, Shaggy Chic Dog Grooming, Sheets, Snappers Bar and Grill, Seth Gardner State Farm, Your Harrisburg True Green Lawn Care, Westshire Decks servicing all of Central PA, the Wildcat Foundation, and Wolf Brewing Company. Additional thanks to the Mechanicsburg Area School District and to all the friends, family, and community members who tune in to watch the games. The Mechanicsburg Wildcats. Presented by 11 Oaks Farms in Newville on Go Mechanicsburg Live and on YouTube at Go Mechanicsburg. We'll see you again next time.